this worn out team, they are losing. This worn out team, they are losing today. Thankful their season is over now. Lose your coach. Tom runs down the team. Oh, more championship dream. Those 7 players are tired and worn out. Lose your they cannot win in the square, won't get a ring anywhere, that's why they lose. Lose your coach. Tom runs down the team. No more championship dream. Those 7 players are tired and worn out. Lose your they cannot win in the square, won't get a ring anywhere, that's why they lose. Lose your
Rock, where you at, Rock? Where you at, Rock? Where you at, Rock?
10 rock and roll, bro.
Rock, where you at, Rock? Where you at, Rock? Where you at, Rock?
10 rock and roll, bro.
Live and live. Welcome to the Rak Files.
The Rak Files. Yeah,
live and locked. This is how we rock. Live and locked. Welcome to the Rak.
PG said.
Live and locked. Live is how we rock.
Oh,
This is how we rock.
the
Welcome to the
Rak
Rak Files. Live and locked.
Chill, baby.
Welcome to the Rak. Live and locked.
Oh, wow.
Live and locked.
Rock Sports Sunday, Rock Sports Sunday. You are live and locked with Rock Sports Sunday. Break down and talk now with Rock Sports Sunday. Rock Sports Sunday. Rock Sports Sunday. You are live and locked with Rock Sports Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Your eyes do not deceive you. It is Monday, but it is still Rock Sports Sunday, Monday edition. What happened last night? A whole lot. A whole lot. We'll get into that. First of all, hope everyone's having a great Monday night, a rare Monday night occasion, all that good stuff. Hope everybody's doing good. This is going to be a very quick Rock Sports Sunday, the Monday edition. Again, last night, business was business. It got crazy. Speaking of getting crazy, well, since the last 8 days, there's been some crazy things going on in sports, crazier things going on in Battlerap. We're definitely going to be covering that. And of course, hope you're having a great weekend. Hope the start to your week has been good. Look, it's an opportunity. The sooner you get it done, the sooner you can have some fun. As simple as that. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves, all that good stuff. Your eyes do not deceive you. You are tuned into the Rak Files. Rock Sports Sunday, Monday edition begins right now. Let's get at it. All right. As usual, for those that would like to play along, you can go ahead and follow us as we take a look at our friend and your friend, sports.yahoo.com. What this is going to be about is something very simple. Now we're headed to the NBA Finals. Now, just so you know, this show won't just be about the NBA. But it will be a lot about the NBA. It's also going to be about NFL. Crazy news went down today, especially for those in Detroit. We'll talk about it. Also, we will be talking about Battlerap, Spaces Card, and face-offs, and wow. So again, hope you're having a good day. Hope you have a good night. Hope you have a great week. All that good stuff. And of course, salute to Leave and Lifted. Man, if y'all miss Leave and Lifted in Chelsea, man, salute to the Rumpus Room. Awesome staff. Awesome event. It's just good to see something special happen like that. Salute to that. All right. As we go here, for those that's been living under a rock, no pun intended, you probably don't know this, but yes, we have an Eastern Conference champion. We have a Western Conference champion. Both series ended soon, right? Cool. Now, by these series ending soon, we now have our NBA Finals match, right? But before we get to that match, let's take a look at what happened in these conference finals. Now, according to this show, we're going to go here. Yeah, there we are. Beautiful. So as you see on the screen right now, let's be sure our tech is tech, and our tech should be teching, and the tech is, according to the screen right here, as you see, Oklahoma City faced off against Minnesota. The Lose York Knicks faced off against Indiana. Now, we're going to start with Oklahoma City versus Minnesota, right? When Oklahoma City played Minnesota in game 3, at that moment, don't forget that Oklahoma City did get out to a 2-0 series lead. Minnesota, because their backs were against the wall, they did win game 3 in a blowout fashion, right? So there's a lot of narrative and talk about, oh my goodness, man, Minnesota, they blew out Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City better watch out. Watch out for what? Because in game 3, Oklahoma City won game 3. Kind of decisively, style-wise, even though the scoreboard didn't reflect it. And of course, as you see in game 5, when it came to closing them out, you see the blowout here. There it is. Oklahoma City beats Minnesota in game 5 by 30 points. Kind of similar to the 30 or 40 points that Minnesota won game 3, right? Yeah. Look, this whole series for Oklahoma City was all about matchups. Being honest with you. It's all about matchups. Minnesota does not have enough to compete with Oklahoma City. So much to the point that after Oklahoma City got beat down in this series, as predicted, then again, if Stevie Wonder and Roy Orbison could have predicted that this was going to happen. And this is nothing against Ant-Man, but Ant-Man limited Rudy Gobert A Nas Reed that was underwhelming in 2 of those games, and honestly, an underwhelming supporting cast was going to do nothing against Oklahoma City, who has 10 players in rotation, whole lot more talent, and the MVP. That as simple as that. As simple as that. Plus the play style. Come on, Minnesota didn't have a shot. Now, because of that, right? Oklahoma City goes on to the NBA Finals. Okay, couple things to note. Oklahoma City has never won an NBA title. And there's a lot of questions about, well, gee, I wonder what the NBA is trying to do. What the NBA is trying to do is spread its market. Yeah, the NBA really is in a desperation situation to where, like, teams that they were depending on to draw in ratings and all this really haven't been. Let's be honest. Boston was given, and Boston won the NBA title last season, right? Boston wasn't bringing in no ratings. So that's the way the NBA chose to go. Listen, the NBA could have went any direction it was going to work. We mentioned that on this channel, all right? So Oklahoma City moves on to the finals to face against the winner of New York, lose York, and Indiana. And as you see here, now look, salute to New York. Salute to New York. They fought, right? They honestly were banged up this whole series. No pause. They were banged up the whole series. Brunson was not 100%, especially in games 3 and 4. He wasn't. Karl-Anthony Towns played soft. He was a scoring machine. That's his ace in the hole. But he played soft. And Josh Hart, as said on this channel, Josh Hart was very injured. Of course, he wasn't going to sit the game out because it's the whole season. And let's be honest, how many chances does New York have at a title, seeing as New York hasn't won an NBA championship since 1972? It's weird that when New York gets this push and all of a sudden gets some hype to get to a title, that doesn't get mentioned enough. That's because they're a big market being pampered by the NBA. That's fine. That's their choice. Now, let's go to Indiana. How did Indiana win this series? It's very simple. It wasn't just stats and hitting shots. It was play style. Indiana ran up and down the floor and played aggressive. They basically wore down New York, and honestly, their energy was too much for New York. It's a very good salute to Rick Carlisle. It's a very good strategy. If you see a team that's only going to play Tom Thibodeau, this is what happens when you play 7 on 10, bruh. You play 7 on 10. You've been playing 7 on 10 since you've been a coach, right? And that's why you haven't won anything. I mean, your short rotations don't work in playoffs like that. You got to have at least 8 players to do this. Indiana played about 8-9 players. Oklahoma City played 10 players. That's why they're in the finals and you're not. And especially when you have a veteran team full of individuals that are not. Karl-Anthony Towns is not the most conditioned athlete. You played him heavy minutes, of course, because of his talent. That's fine. But 7 guys? Come on, bruh. Mr. Thibodeau, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. And it's no wonder that Brunson was injured doing all that flopping. It's no wonder that Karl-Anthony Towns was injured with Indiana's bigs basically going right at him, forcing him to play physical. There's no wonder it happened. So Indiana wins 4-2. Now this matchup is almost a mirror match. Not as far as overall talent when you have Indiana versus Oklahoma City, right? But here's how it's a mirror match. Play style. Both teams like to run. Both teams now have improved. Well, Indiana has improved defense. Oklahoma City has been having good defense the whole season. Yes, defense matters. Defense does matter. Ain't that right, all 3-point people out there? Defense does matter. So both teams are defensively sound. This is going to be a very, very interesting physical series. Chet Holmgren, if he gets injured, Indiana has a shot to win this series. Not saying he's injury prone like that, but he also wasn't playing the whole season. And Chet Holmgren, when that smoke comes at him, he can get a little fragile. So Miles Turner, watch the matchup between Miles Turner and Chet Holmgren. That's going to be an X Factor match to watch. Halliburton versus Shea, almost a mirror match. They play similar. Shea's not going to be trying to light up for 3 like that. Halliburton can hit a shot, but his main thing is going to be getting inside to the paint. Shea getting inside to the paint, and of course, having his teammates get open and become available. This is going to be a very good series. Basketball-wise, a very good series. Obviously, a lot of casuals won't be tuning into the series because these are two mid-market teams. That's another thing. Mid-market matchup. Oklahoma City is considered a mid-market, maybe a high, maybe kind of, no, Oklahoma City is a mid-market. Indiana's kind of a high to mid-market, a high mid-market to just mid-market there, you know? So basically, this is the new blood. Keep in mind, you kind of got a hint of that when they moved Luka to the Lakers, right? They're doing the changing of the guard. So this is a moment for either Shea or Halliburton, depending on what the NBA wants to do, to step up and say, no, I'm the guy to watch. I'm that dude. Let's check the chat. Okay, let's see what we got in the chat. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, we got Bunny in the building. Bunny, salute, salute, salute. Be sure to subscribe to Bunny live on YouTube. Bunny, what up, what up? 702, Smooth in the building. What up, 702? Salute, salute, salute. Chip coming back to the West. Probably. Oklahoma City got more shooting. So we talked about advantages for Indiana, right? Aggressive. They have a lot of momentum. Miles Turner has a slight advantage over Chet Holmgren. But here's where Oklahoma City has an advantage. They have been playing together more often. They have more chemistry than Indiana. Now, coaching-wise, Carlisle has a lot of coaching advantages over Coach Mark over there, the coach for Oklahoma City. There's a lot of coaching advantages. Carlisle don't forget, Carlisle has won a chip before. And honestly, it could be argued that Dallas team maybe had a little less talent. Maybe a little less talent. We ain't talking about superstar talent. Obviously, Dirk Nowitzki. We get that. But maybe a little less superstar talent than maybe a little less superstar talent than Indiana has. Terrell 76 Mayor in the building. Terrell, what up, what up? Salute, salute, salute. So this is going to go 6 or 7 games. Indiana has a shot. Oklahoma City has a shot. Whichever so this is going to be very simple. Whichever team gets up to 3 wins first wins. Simple as that. You know, very similar play styles. Both we don't have no 7-guy rotations here. We don't have no one player trying to do it all. Ain't that right, Mr. Ant-Man? Poor Ant-Man, man. Look, Minnesota, give Ant-Man some actual help. So you may want to get involved with the Kevin Garnett decision. You may want to get involved with who else is out there? Yeah, you may want to get involved with maybe a Joel Embiid. You may want to get involved with that. You may want to go ahead and do what you got to do for a free agent to help out Ant-Man. You know, give him a definite number 2. You know, try to keep Nas Reed if you can. Or if you don't want to pay Nas Reed, let Nas Reed go. Get one of those. You know, maybe y'all should get Devin Booker. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, or Giannis. Minnesota, you may want to think about it. Anyway. But Indiana has a shot against Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is the A side of this right here. But Nembhard for Indiana, Nesmith for Indiana, Lou Dort for Oklahoma City. Jalen Williams for Oklahoma City. This is going to be a very look, even though it won't have the rock and roll ratings and it won't have the appeal like that for the casuals and all this, for basketball purists, this should be a fun game to watch. First of all, we're going to have more fundamental skills on display. Guys can pass the ball, guys can open shots, etc. We're going to see more diverse ball here. The turnovers should be low. Both these teams have been kind of low in the playoffs, you know, with their turnovers. So we should see clean basketball also. All right. So that's something to watch for. Who's favorite? Oklahoma City's favorite to win probably in 6 or 7 games. As simple as that. You know, but wait, Oklahoma City. Let's see what Oklahoma City does with some adversity. A little bit more adversity. Oklahoma City went through adversity against Denver. Okay, Indiana adversity. What, Cleveland? Yeah. New York, sort of. Yeah. It could be argued that Oklahoma City had the heavier schedule to get there. Yeah, Oklahoma City has more of the possibility to win. Something to take a look at. All right. We will now move on very quickly. And of course, once we drop the code, you're more than welcome to come up and talk about this game. Let us now go to the NFL. This is the news of the day. And we're going to go to baseball in a minute. We're going to go to baseball in a minute. And yeah, we can talk about free agency also if you like. Because the free agent thing is crazy, yo. Again, there's Giannis out there, Devin Booker being rumored to be moved. Surprised those Chicago Bull guys are not rumored to be moved, etc. Here it is right here. This is the story of the football news today. Yes, you read correctly. Lions center, and yes, well, you already reporting that because of Detroit. You dang gonna skip it. Detroit has now went from a Super Bowl favorite, a Super Bowl contender, and now Detroit is in trouble. Detroit Lions center, four-time Pro Bowler Frank Ragnow is retiring at age 29 because he's banged up, or to avoid the pause, is because he is highly injured. He's been playing with injuries for like the past 3 seasons, finally caught up to him, and before the season starts, he is now retired. That means the Lions have to struggle to find who's going to replace, not even when we say the actual player, facing a guy like Frank Ragnow who has played at this high level. You're talking about, of his generation, probably the best center that's played, at least one or two of them, right? You know, this guy's going to be probably a Hall of Famer. So the question is going to be, what do the Lions do at this later stage before their season starts to get a center? For those that don't know, a center is basically your second captain on the team, especially with offense is concerned. All right. So what a center does, a center basically calls all the coverages. A center, basically neutralizes the defense in a lot of ways. It helps the quarterback out and block, and is also responsible for the ball getting in motion, for the football becoming in motion for the offense. So that means Frank Ragnow not being here anymore. Yikes. It's a problem. What do the Lions do? Here's one suggestion the Lions better do. Hopefully you had a game plan before this happened. Hopefully you already had something you're going to do with your salary cap, because obviously in the draft, you probably didn't draft anybody that can immediately come in and start for center for you. So you got to take a look at that. And most importantly, hey, Brad Holmes, you're one of the best executives in the NFL. Now's your moment to show us. Simple as that. Does this mean that the Lions season is over? It most certainly doesn't. 17 games may not seem a lot, but it is a very long season. Nobody wins a Super Bowl in the preseason like that. So there's a lot to see here, even with the horrible schedule the Lions have. The Lions' horrible schedule could turn out to be maybe not that bad, depending on what these other teams are, or it could turn out to be even worse. But they're going to have to move pretty fast to find a center. Just find a center that is comparable. Find a center that's comparable, that can hold his own. Simple as that. So that's the news for NFL. Let's go to baseball real quick. Baseball's heating up. Now we're getting teams, because we're getting close to game number 60. Yeah. Now, of course, when you get close to game number 60, there's still over 100 games left. All right. But in you're getting close to game number 60. Here we go. Here are your standings as it stands right now. Let's see who's doing what. Okay, hold on a minute. All right, cool. Now, for the American League. All right, in the AL East. In the AL East, you got the Yankees at the top. So the Yankees, the Yankees, lose York Stankies, have been at the top of this division for a while. Toronto, even though you look at this, you got Toronto behind by 5.5 games. Honestly, this is probably going to hold up unless one of these teams do something in the crazy trade to do something. The Yankees are probably going to be holding on to this division for a while. Just being honest. And they have 36 wins, 22. Their winning percentage is 621. So salute to that, even for them. Now, this division is a lot closer. See, Houston has caught back up to Seattle. Now we got a battle in the AL West. And not too far behind, even though it's four games behind, Texas. If Texas wakes up and actually plays some baseball, maybe they can have something to say about this division. Whoever's going to come out of the AL West is going to have to win a division. The wild card, more than likely, is probably going to come out of this division right here, the AL Central, which is still the top, if not if not the top, is one of the top divisions in baseball. Cleveland honestly is probably just as good as the Stankies, keeping it $1. And Cleveland is probably better than Seattle and Houston. And they're in the second place. We're going to get to it. Minnesota, Kansas City, one of these three teams beneath, of course, you know who. Yes, you know who. One of these three teams beneath Detroit is probably going to win that wild card. So the rest of these divisions, if you don't win that division, you're probably going to be sitting home in the American League. And, of course, at the top of the entire American League is, of course, your friends and ours. The Detroit Tigers, first team to 40. First team to 40. What we doing? What we doing? So, in a calendar season, Detroit has had, even though they failed in the playoffs, but they still had the best record in the NFL. And right now, we got the best record in the American League in baseball. Salute to Detroit. And the reason why it deserves to be hyped up is because Detroit is considered a high mid-market. So we didn't get any help from Major League Baseball or NFL to get any of this. This is straight from the mud. So salute to Detroit. Detroit stand up. And also don't forget the Pistons got to the playoffs and not won. There's all this narrative about the Pistons won a playoff game. We won 2 playoff games and almost got Lose York out of here in our first playoff appearance in well over a decade and a half. Watch out for the Pistons. All right. Let's go to the National League very quickly. Okay. National League. Boom. All right. Okay. Now, when we last, oh, wow. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Okay. We're going to go right to the NL East. There you go. All right. So NL East, now the Mets have overtaken this division. It was Philly. The Phillies. It was the Phillies, but the Phillies have fallen back a little bit. But they're still right there with the Mets. So we're probably going to have a good battle in the NL East between the Mets and Philly. Washington, Atlanta, Miami, nah. Not enough. Just not enough. Anything can happen. Not enough. Washington is just missing a streak, and it doesn't seem they have the type of team that could do that unless they get a super easy schedule or run up some teams at an easy schedule. Still a lot to see, but not enough. But Philly and New York, that should be a contest all the way through, at least till the All-Star break, and then we're going to see what trades happen. But see, the Mets were right there with 37 wins, 627 percentage. Philly right there with 610 percentage, 36 wins. All right. The Cubbies, the Cubberooskies, El Chicago Cubs. All right. Yep. They have the same, wow, the Cubs have the same record as the Mets, right? Yep. Right now, the Cubs have the Mets, the same record as the Mets, 37 wins, 627. Winning percentage pretty good. Yeah, the Cubs might be the class of this, although watch out for St. Louis and Milwaukee, because St. Louis is notorious for their history. These annoying Cardinals are notorious for having late season runs. Watch out for St. Louis. Milwaukee, we'll see. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are basically not enough. And look at this. Both the Mets and the Cubs have more wins than the Dodgers do. But also look at the NL West. Ladies and gentlemen, we have war. Dodgers, San Diego, and San Francisco are going to be fighting for this division title. And it's not far away. There was this thought before the season happened that, well, the Dodgers are just going to go ahead and be the best team, and they're just going to win a World Series. Hold on, Lucy. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. San Francisco, of course, have to get a sweat by us. Suit to the family, but hey. San Francisco has a good team. They could use more pitching, and definitely could use more offense. San Francisco may have to trade for a bat. If they get a bat, they can win that division. San Diego just got to get it together. They have talent, just got to get it together. The Dodgers have it together, but there's some guys slumping. They may have to change that batting lineup a little bit. May have to change that batting lineup a little bit. And of course, their pitching is kind of slumping. They're showing chinks in armor with that pitching, So just on the watch. So, and the best record in the National League is between the Cubs and the Mets, both with 627 percentage. However, your best team in all of baseball, yes, it will be discussed. It will be discussed. Guess who your best team in baseball is? Just guess who your best team in baseball is. You got it. The Detroit Tigers, 656 percentage. First team to 40. First team to 40, 19 games above 500. Six and a half game lead over Cleveland. The Tigers have done so well. The Tigers got swept by Cleveland. Right? Is that right? No, the Tigers, the Tigers got swept by Cleveland and still dominating their division. A very tough division. Again, you got 4 teams in this division, all above 500. All above 500. So obviously, if now the Tigers still, they're not a perfect team. You may want to get a bat. You may want to trade some prospects for a veteran bat. Maybe do a deal with Houston. Maybe do a deal with Boston. Get a veteran bat off of there. Maybe Philly. Nah, Philly ain't gonna trade with Detroit. Let's get that out of here. Maybe take a look at Milwaukee. They got a bat over there. Some teams to take a look at. But hey, as it stands now, June 3rd, 2025, Tigers 40 wins, 21 losses, 656 percentage. They have a 21-8 record, the best winning percentage at home in all of Major League Baseball. Salute to Detroit, stand up. Detroit, stand up. That's what we talking about. Cool. All right. So that is the sports edition of what we got going on. Now, check this out, man. For those that don't know, we do battle rap here, right? We most certainly do battle rap. And in battle rap, we have a whole bunch going on, man. We have a whole bunch going on. We're going to go right to the Rak Files post. Hold on a minute. All right, cool. Yep. We're going right to the Rak Files post here. A lot to discuss. And we're just going to call, we're going to call some things out. We're going to call some things out, man. And we're just going to be honest. We're just going to be straight up, brutally honest with a lot of stuff going on. The first thing we're going to say is obviously individuals that frequent this channel or frequent, I guess, this sector, even though our channel is trying to be more diverse and be more privy to more styles of battle rap. But it's also known and it's also understood that this channel is going to be more tuned in, it's going to attract those, rightfully so, but it's going to attract those more that are kind of limited, to be honest with you, with the battle rap that they look at. And there may be some reason for that. Let's discuss. Here's the Rak Files community post page. Okay, we're going to go right to this. There was a Spaces card drop. Salute to Cracksteam Crisis for showing us this. And we're going to start here. So we did a poll, this final data. All right. And of course, not everything on this Spaces battle card, by the way, it's called The Crowd. Apologize for this terminology. We wanted to get this data up very quickly. After 18 votes, according to this poll, Appa beats Crisis, right? Appa defeats Crisis 89% to 11%. We've also had discussions about this. Appa does get the victory over Crisis, but it should be noticed that Crisis was very much improved in this battle. Crisis was very much improved overall. What Crisis could do is have some of those things connect in a more solid rhythm. Not rhythm, and there's more solid location, and that's also going to go to another battle we talk about. But yeah, so there were definitely bars there. There were some rhymes there, but the thing is, if they end in the middle of a pocket, or they end in the middle of a beat, they won't land as effective. The punch doesn't come off as effective as it could. Plus, Appa just took off in this battle. Abba took off in this battle. He was clear. See, 2025 bars are not enough. Delivery matters. How to punch matters. Room shakers, room breakers. It's all the stuff we talk about. All that matters. It all matters. All right. So because of that, that's where the battle was lost for Crisis. You know what I'm saying? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got Blunt in the building 2024. Modi, hit the like, share the stream, subscribe to the Rak Files channel for more incredible battle rap content, sports data, music sessions, and much more, such as Rock Sports Sunday to Monday edition. Salute to Blunt, man. Salute to Blunt. By the way, Blunt got a remix of oh, there it is. Yes. Keep it P. Salute to the Blunt remix style featuring Viral Money. both them guys are talking some stuff, man. So much to the point that were shots fired? Didn't seem like it, but were shots fired? Who knows? But nah, that's a fire remix. And it's interesting that in that song, you know, Focus on Self, by the way, Focus on Self, that both that song and the remix have both taken off. You know what I'm saying? So salute to that. And that's independent track. That's independent music. That, you know, that's what we're here for. Salute to that. It's good to see that, man. Good to see that. So Appa, according to submissions and according to this post, the reason why we had to do submissions on a lot of this, look, we're gonna keep it $1 with y'all. We know that most individuals that, and you're gonna see it in the numbers, most individuals that will respond to a post on here, they're gonna see a name, they're gonna have certain feelings against that person and vote against them. All right. So we definitely want to be sure to do our due diligence and say, okay, we know individuals that watch this channel or maybe throughout a certain part of battle rap don't like Crisis. And they don't have to like Crisis, that's fine. But we want to be sure that this return, which by the way is final data because it was 2 days ago, so that's 48 hours ago. This is a low amount of votes because usually the votes we want is 28 to 30 or more. But hey, 18 votes, 40 hours ago. So be it. So it's final data to the post, and it does hold up that Appa won. Now, did Appa completely dominate Crisis? In certain ways, yeah. But no overall effect, nah. But Appa just came off in this battle way more seasoned and had way more heavier hitting lines and moments. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. All right. Next one. We're going to read the chat in a minute. So then another battle we had here was Snip Drago versus Loso BX and Y. 22 votes, 48. So this is final data. 22 votes, 48 hours later, Snip Drago defeats Loso. Loso was all over the place. And obviously Loso wasn't Loso in this battle. Snip Drago took off too. Snip Drago took off. He went off on Loso. And the thing is, it wasn't just bars. Usually when, there's a lot of picking and choosing when it comes to bars and all this stuff. Like if somebody likes someone and let's say the consensus say they lost, the first thing that somebody want to mention is, well, did you hear those bars though? Name a bar they said. But then if it's someone they don't like, they don't say that. So there's definitely picking and choosing. And honestly, over here, we don't care about that. We know how to see through that. We're not going to go crazy over that. But in this battle, both guys had bars. Loso's bars were there. They weren't performed well enough. There was conviction. There's a difference between conviction and delivery. Conviction is there believability? Are you attached to the material? No, actually, that's delivery. Conviction is there a certain sound? Is there a certain aggression behind the bar? So Loso was battling. The delivery was wrong because they just kind of like Crisis against Appa, Loso against Snip Drago, the punches would land awkwardly. They wouldn't land in an effective place to be absorbed by a listener. Whereas Snip Drago, clearly you could clearly see the pocket and the rhythm of where it was landing. No matter what style you have, it has to land in a very strong and stable spot. Whether you rap slow, whether you rap fast, it should land to where like, okay, here is the punch. The rhymes have to match up in symmetry also. Or if you're going to be unorthodox and they don't, something has to land up to where it's a definite end of the thought. It has to land there. Also, one thing Loso could have done here is usually the rapid pace is cool. Some more rhythmic variants would have helped. You know, like switch it up, like maybe tone it down a little bit. Like what he did against in that Innovate battle, he did some of that. He didn't do that here. Snip Drago did. So when you have bars that are basically kind of even, it's going to be the performance, delivery. It's going to be conviction, aggressiveness. It's going to be the rhythmic symmetry. That's what's going to determine who won. And Snip Drago had that. Was it this far apart, 77-23? Maybe not that far apart. Maybe it's more like a 67-33. But this poll says 77-23. And let's be honest, a lot of individuals, again, right now don't like Loso. So that's also another thing to look at here. But no, Snip Drago won that against Loso. It's really nothing to say about that. Snip Drago won that. And we probably will review this battle a little bit later this week. Now, notice, you saw how many votes Snip Drago versus Loso got. You saw how many votes that Crisis and Appa got, right? Look at the votes that individuals that are not. 2 votes. Catatonic wordplay. This battle was pretty decent. But because of not being familiar, or maybe individuals are not familiar, you know, they don't know these guys, or they haven't picked a side or whatever, they didn't really participate. I'm going to show you something else too. But not catatonic wordplay. Honestly, wordplay won this battle. You know, wordplay won the battle. Wordplay won the battle. You know, and again, we're going to show it later. So you have 2 votes. This is final data. Both votes go to catatonic. That's according to this post. All right. T.A. So Wanson. Look, this battle was good. This battle was good. If not mistaken, this is one of the battles that the judges on the Spaces card called Battle of the Night. It was either this one or the War Q, and we're going to get to that, the War Q versus Glowman. It was one of those 2 battles that they call Battle of the Night. So it's interesting how they call that Battle of the Night, and they only got 2 votes over here. All right. Spirit versus Neff. That was also another good battle. Only got 2 votes over here. They gave it to Neff, 100%. Okay. Oh, who won between Tieso and Wanso? If memory serves correct, I think we had Wanson winning that. And again, I believe we had wordplay. Because Catatonic's the one that had the deadpan delivery. Yeah. Catatonic had the deadpan delivery, and honestly was kind of a little bit boring in spots, although although he was rapping. Wordplay had more of the excitement and, again, had those punches lined up properly. Let's read the chat very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we got Blunt in the building. Blunt mentions Rock. The album going to be one of those. Yeah, it's shaping up that way, man. Salute to that, Blunt. Salute to that. It's good. And look, one thing that's good about the tracks on there, man, is that a lot of those tracks, they're genuinely you. They don't sound like nobody else's. That's fire. Blunt mentions no shots fired. Okay, all right. Big Slim is the building. So salute to Slim. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So, Slim's in the building. Much respect to Slim. All right. As we go through this, T.S. Wanson, Spirit Neff. Oh, so we had Wanson over T.A. So in discussions. We had wordplay over Catatonic in discussions. Again, we had Snip Drago over. We also had Snip Drago over Loso. Not quite as much, but we had that. And we definitely had Appa over Crisis, although Crisis was more improved. Appa. You know what? Listening to Snip Drago. Yo, Rap Ref. 219 Salvo. If you were to come out of retirement or whatever, maybe you should battle Snip Drago. Y'all 2 have a little similarity there. And Appa, maybe you should battle a Clip Corleone if Clip comes back. Those would be some good matchups. And look, those battles can happen wherever. Maybe Clip does a Spaces battle versus Appa, or Appa battles Clip on at the ring or something. Maybe Snip Drago battles Rap Ref and the ring, or Spaces, however y'all want to do it. But it'll be good to see that matchup. Because honestly, that's one of the best performances of the night. And we're gonna be dropping a poll. I'm sorry, we're gonna be dropping a question about who was the performer tonight, battle tonight, just to get y'all view. And yes, we will be doing our due diligence. We will be giving those battle rap awards here. It's what we do, you know. And also, we will play where the judges had their, you know, not every battle was judged. So we're also gonna be playing that here too. All right. Okay. Got a ton of wordplay into this right now. In this battle here, Trent YSTZ versus Enzyma got no votes. See, this is what we're talking about when it comes to data. That's where the data becomes very interesting. And honestly, it's really weird that a community, any community that claims to be in battle rap or whatever, doesn't really check these guys out. Like it or not, this Spaces card was virtual. It was virtual. Just because, and look, this is no disrespect to VBL Cartel. There's no respect to Smoke Kings. There's no respect to any of the, you know, battle cards that are more familiar, even TMR. But just when you have these Spaces cards come through, it would be nice to check out this town. Now, if you check the town out, they're not good. They're not good. But if not mistaken, Enzyma wasn't bad at all. Should have got checked out. But then again, let's be honest. Most of the community that claims to be about battle rap, y'all about trolling. Y'all the troll community, dog. Just overall, y'all troll community. You're not really a battle rap community. And you ready for this? So the same day ago, where there was Spaces cards question asked, right? We asked a question about a face-off. Dankster versus Jack Action, who won? Now look at this. This 19 votes it got 24 hours ago is more votes or participation than the space card for 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 items on the Spaces card. That's crazy. That's crazy. But look, that face-off was fire. Very entertaining. A whole lot of crashing out. But it wasn't entertaining just because of the crashing out. It was entertaining because of the aggression that both of them had against each other. Now, of course, because it's a troll community, and we don't keep saying that because that's what it is. It's a troll community, you know. Okay, salute to Slim. Slim. It definitely counts as virtual if it has to do with rapping online. It does, bro. It does. And that's why this channel will be looking at whatever's virtual, whatever we can get our, you know, I guess our, for lack of say, where we can get our eyes on and get our data. Yeah, we're gonna be looking at that. We're gonna be looking at that. So that this is where we get a more broad base of exactly who's doing what in virtual. You know, 100%. 100%. Salute to Big Slim on that. We're gonna be dropping the code in a minute. But yeah, Dankster. So they got it pretty clear that Jack Action over Dankster. Dankster and Jack had a very close face-off. It was close, respectfully. It was closer than this. And look, the results are the results. We're not doing this to sway the results. We're just saying what our submissions, our discussion said. So that's also additional data. So here, basically, according to this, 63 versus 37%, Dankster got washed in that face-off. Not necessarily. Dankster was killing Jack and a lot of that face-off for a while. But then Jack, of course, had, you know, he fought back. Now, saying Jack won, that's cool. But 63 to 37? So we'll call cap. And of course, we have, you know, and we're going to explain this right now. So let's see what we got here. So we put this up. And the reason we had to put it up over here, this is Glowman versus War Q on the Spaces. Down, please. All right, right here. So this is Spaces battle card, The Crowd. By the way, the name of the event was called The Crowd. Glowman versus War Q, as it says right here. Who won, right? It says go to the comment section to choose the winner. Here's the comment section. How many votes did we get? Okay, we got 1. So now look, this is our vote here for War Q. We chose War Q. It has been 24 hours. This is final data. Keep in mind that when we do these shorts, the reason why we did the short over here, and this does count. This actually counts a little bit more than it does those community posts. You know why? Because when someone votes once here, how about this? Someone can only vote once per category. Only once. Only once. So we're going to give this another day, see what's up. And we went over here because YouTube was tripping. YouTube didn't want us to add another category. They kept saying that this channel hasn't been around long enough, and they want a verification that we're not going to give. So because of that, this is our backup to get the data. This is the data we have right now. Now keep in mind. Now hold on. Well, maybe a lot of people didn't see it. Oh no. Because most of this world, for some odd reason, believes in views, right? This how many views that short has. That short has 165 views. See that? There it is. 100 according to YouTube now. It probably has way more than that. But according to YouTube, it has 165 views. So I have 165 views. And keep in mind, even the still of the short says what? Go to the comment section to choose the winner. So basically, individuals did this. They looked at it, stared at it, and didn't follow instructions. And that's fine. They don't have to. However, when all of a sudden, if you see a Glow Man Award Q ranked, you'll see why. Simple as that. Okay. So someone else liked this. Cool. Someone else liked this. All right. Now watch. If you like it, if someone hits that again, do you see that? It can only be counted once. It can only be counted once. All right. So there you go. Okay. So Slim mentions Jack won because of the N-bomb, but all in all, they definitely sold their battle. All battles should promote what that's happening. 100%. But see, wait, Jack saying the M-bombs, that wasn't directed toward Dankster. How does Jack get that for credit over Dankster? Now here's how else Jack can win, though. Jack could have won because, well, Jack was the main one. Maybe Jack was the most memorable for selling that promo. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. All right. And that's going to lead right to a topic. Again, we're not going to be here super long or nothing, but at least to this, we're going to drop the code, of course. All right, cool. So the code is now in the chat. Salute to that. Let's get this out of here. Beautiful. Yeah, so anyone that wants to come up and discuss what they want to discuss, they can. So you have sports. You got the lose York Knicks losing. You got the Pacers moving on to the finals. You got Oklahoma City moving on to the finals. You got Minnesota and their 1 and 2 half team losing. Okay. You got the Spaces battles. And the question we're going to ask about the Spaces battles. Who of that Spaces card would you want to see battle on leagues that you're familiar with? Maybe on a TMR pot, maybe on a Gulag. Who of that Spaces card would you want to see battle on the Gulag, on the Ring, VBL Cartel, or whatever? Who would you want to see and why? Who really impressed you? Appa would be fire in the Ring. Big Slim mentions who you got, OKC or Indiana. Gonna lean slightly toward OKC just because their team does a little bit more and they do a little bit more consistently. Oh, Indiana has spouts to where they can kind of miss some opportunities. And also Indiana can get those, in basketball terms, they can get runs ran on. Oklahoma City, not like that. Not like that, and not as often. So Oklahoma City will give them a slight advantage, have them in 6 or 7 games. But I'm going to say this very clearly. If the Indiana team that showed up game 2 battles the Oklahoma City team that showed up in game 4, that Indiana team has a chance to win. This is a very close series, man. This is a very close. Miles Turner, Chet Holmgren. Very even matchup. They both kind of play the same. Miles is more of a veteran. Miles is more durable. Shea versus Halliburton. Shea has a little bit more dangerous than Halliburton. Halliburton goes into a funk. All right. Slim mentions. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and lock that link in real quick. All righty, hold up a minute. I'm going to answer this question in a minute. And of course, for those that, if you feel so inclined, you're more than welcome to go ahead, share the stream, hit the like button, all that good stuff. And of course, subscribe to the Rak Files. You know, we're here for you. And if you just want to watch and chill out, go ahead. It's all good. ET's not a problem, my friend. All right. Cool. All right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the code pinned in the chat. All right. So Slim asked, facts, I got OKC, but why did the NBA set up this week finals? Oh, it's simple, Slim. They set it up because they want to change another guard. LeBron done, Steph done. Giannis is on the other side of his prime. He is. Paul George been done. Kevin Durant done. Not done as far as being trash, but done as far as their prime. So they're using this to open new markets, you know, have more parity, so they can go ahead and see who's going to be the one to step up. So it would, you know, had Ant-Man had more of a team and had his team won the NBA Finals, then Minnesota, then Ant-Man probably would be, you know, a guy to get some help and all of a sudden compete and win a couple of titles, and then Ant-Man would be this generation's LeBron. Simple as that, you know. This is still a business. Still a business. So that's what the NBA, how about this? That's at least one version of what the NBA might be possibly doing. But let's be honest, man. When it comes to predicting NBA, as far as not even, they call it conspiracy, but as far as using independent thinking to predict NBA honestly is in a position where they can do whatever they want with whatever storyline they want. Because let's be honest, no matter how much this finals is not, you know, a big market draw for the casual or whatever, individuals will watch this finals, and the next season they're going to watch again. Like NBA, NFL, the only way they could do wrong and lose money is if all of a sudden they just completely mismanage. Like if they go back to like the 1970s type of NBA, whole bunch of drugs, whole bunch of scandal, and not have a lot of government support. You know, Slim mentions, I said the same thing. Halliburton trash as he is. Read the room. Yeah. Halliburton, though, is doing one thing that's going to have him. Halliburton has become a good heel. It's become a good villain. My bad. Hold on. Let's get off of that. Apologize. Let's do that. Cool. Yeah, Halliburton is a very good heel, right? I mean, you know, let's be honest. Halliburton and Brunson, they both were on WWE. That is a factor because WWE is really good at painting characters. So Halliburton being a heel, is Shea a face? Not everybody really likes Shea. So it'll be a mistake if the NBA tried to push Shea as this good guy. That's what they're looking for, Slim. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for who will be a guy to take advantage of the spotlight. Who's going to be their guy that wants that attention, that knows how to manage it? We can say what we want about LeBron, and all of it's pretty accurate, but LeBron knew how to handle the spotlight. Whatever mistake he did, he embraced it, and it was him in the spotlight. That's what a star is supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So will Halliburton be that as a heel? That could set up something. So now if you have Halliburton as a definite heel, because individuals don't like him, and you know he talks too much, and he's like causing all these rivalries and stuff, that at least draws a casual attention. Let's be honest. We talk about this place being a troll community, which it is a troll community, drama community, toxic community, all that. Well, so is entertainment. Entertainment is definitely a troll community. There's no question about it. The United States, especially North America, Western civilization, is driven by drama. That's what drives it all. You know, I mean, there's so many psychological reasons we can say for that, and that'll take a whole other live to really go there. But yeah, so whichever of these athletes like the drama and will be a TMZ candidate with Halliburton, that could be a rivalry for a minute. You know, and of course, stuff like this the NBA will deny. Oh no, it's just the best teams playing basketball and blah blah blah. Let's be honest, that's cap. That's cap. There are certain teams the NBA believe they can get money off of, and there's certain teams they don't. There's certain markets, all that good stuff. You know, that's how it goes down. It's business. It's entertainment. It's mainstream entertainment business when it comes to NBA. It's not so much basketball as it's entertainment ball. Like when the Lakers, I'm sorry. When the Cavs and the Warriors, that's right. When the Cavs and Warriors were going back and forth in those finals, you had the Warriors be a heel. You had something like LeBron. But you had LeBron be a lesser heel because they're like, wow, he's going against this super team all by himself, which was cap, but they sold it. And that was a high interest for that generation to watch the NBA Finals. And the NBA Finals is looking for that. You know, Boston could have been a heel, but then again, there was such a swell that didn't want to see Boston again. So now they have somebody new. Now, of course, no else because of injuries. That's a factor. Yeah, they do. Slim mentions, let's highlight this. Slim mentions, let's be real, the NBA needed to push small market teams to garner attention towards them. Their ratings for this past season, Slim, was toward the lowest they've ever had. And honestly, their brand of basketball this season was toward the worst ever seen. Look, let's keep it all the way $1. If you got the NBA is supposed to be the top professional basketball league in the world. You have big guys that don't know how to get open or get open in the post. They don't know how to do it. We have individuals that can't hit free throws. We have individuals that can't pass the ball, that don't know how to dribble with the opposite hand. That's the brand of basketball. Let alone the team basketball. Oh boy, how many turnovers did these teams average? We're talking about fundamental things that have been weak in this NBA for like the last probably 2 decades and a half. That might be a little bit too much. We'll say 2 decades. Yeah, we'll just go 2 decades. Big Slim mentions injury. Let's highlight that. Injuries for Boston is no excuse because that team is loaded. Yeah. We're ready for this. That's the narrative they're going to paint. Because they may want to keep Boston. They may want to keep Boston still interested as far as look at them. The NBA is desperate in a lot of ways. Even though they're funded and they're not going anywhere, they're not going to go out of business unless somebody wants them out of business or something wants them out of business. The NBA is desperate to have a better image than what they have. It's not so much ratings and numbers; it's an image. You know what's over the ratings and numbers? It's social media conversation. Now, don't get it wrong. Social media don't like nothing. Social media is a troll community itself. Troll, drama, toxic. That's it. But, all that. But even with that, social media is being biased toward negativity against the NBA. NBA can't really stand that rhetoric. So they kind of have to do something against that. This way could be some more legitimate money. And also some legitimate distraction that goes to a whole other part of the conversation. Big Slim, we got 7-foot players shooting 20-foot shots. Well, that could work if you're a small forward. You could be a 7-foot small forward. If you can dribble like Kevin Durant or like a Danny Wolf coming in. If you got that, fine. Not every 7-footer got to be in a. But the issue is What type of 26-foot shots are you taking? And is there somebody else that can do something inside? So here's something. If Rudy Gobert played with Miles Turner, that could work. Miles Turner put them shots up. Rudy Gobert play inside. When Jalen Duren, let's say for the Pistons, right? Jalen Duren is the man inside. Okay. Now, if Jalen Duren is playing next to Miles Turner, or if Jalen Duren is playing next to a Chet Holmgren, that works. Chet Holmgren is 7 foot, but he is playing a power forward. Power forward can shoot that. He's a 7-foot power forward. That could work. Big Slim. The NBA, the image is that the NBA is fair even in small markets. All of a sudden, that's not their image. No. See, this isn't about being fair. This is about desperation. That's not the image. What that is an aberration. That's not their trend. NBA throughout their history and public information has consistently said they favor big markets. Let's be honest. Let's take a look at the Lose York Knicks. The Lose York Knicks. This is a team that has been one of the worst franchises since 1970. Outside of their back-to-back champions in 71 and 70, not 81 and 82, not 91 and 92, not 2002, 2001, 2002, not 2021, 22, 1971, 72. Outside of that, and of course, the finals appearance in 99. I'm sorry, 99, whatever. Outside of that, the Knicks have been trash. Trash. But yet and still, because they're a big market, they're going to get preferential treatment. The NBA has boldly said that's what they're doing. That's what they want to do. That's their image. But you know what's funny? With every image move, they want a control of its market and its people's attention. And when that attention starts going elsewhere, and again, ratings are not the only thing that signify that. You know? Okay. See here? Big Slim? No, that's going to be the new narrative image. No, the new narrative, not image, my bad. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's a good discussion. All right. It may be. Or it may be just unspoken. They could be using this. Here's another thing. There is a thing called a stopgap. A stopgap is when a player or a team is used just to be a transition to something else. For example, let's see here. We're going to go out of the LTC. We're going to use the NBA champion for this. Boom. Dallas Mavericks. When the Dallas Mavericks won and beat the Miami Heat with Dirk Nowitzki, right? What happened after that? There was a change because that Dallas team wasn't designed to be a dynasty to win multiple championships. They were a stopgap to something else. NBA they went even more offensive, took even more from defense. And also other super teams were involved. Or, if not mistaken, Ray Allen then went to Miami Heat from the Celtics, right? Stuff like that. This could be, Slim, a stopgap champion. We asked actually on this channel, whoever wins this title, would they be the weakest champion in the last 2 decades? Like let's say Indiana wins it. When Indiana, and look, whether you're a weak champion, whatever, you got a ring, you got a ring. That even goes for the 2020 champion in the bubble with the Lakers, right? A ring, dog. Sorry. Oh, well, don't call the ring, take the ring back. Here's the point. If Indiana wins, wouldn't Indiana be the weakest NBA champion in the last 2 decades? I mean, honestly, you take a look at Indiana's road to the finals. How impressive is that? Well, they got the Cavaliers out of here 4-1. Yeah. Well, how much of the Cavaliers was playing? Well, they did beat the Lose York Knicks. They played 7 players, and three of their main players were banged up and injured. But hey, that's not their fault. You play who's in front of you, right? So it's not putting down Indiana. It's just saying the quality of champion. Neither one of these champions. Well, Oklahoma City is the closest to a dominant run, but dominant against whom? Can we be honest and say that a lot of this playoff, a lot of the level of team in this playoff wasn't that great? Were these playoffs really that good? They were entertaining to watch, but the quality of competition, was this really that good? So if it wasn't really that good, wouldn't this champion be not that great? Where would they rank? Where would this, let's say Indiana or Oklahoma City wins, right? Obviously, one of them will win, of course. Are they better than the Milwaukee Bucks team that won? As far as the champion? Are they even in their class? What about are they in the Warriors class that won all those championships? Are they? What about the Boston team that just won? Are they in their class? Really? It's something to really think about. And that goes right to Slim's point about, no, that's going to be the new narrative, not image my bag, as far as the NBA is that the NBA is fair to even small markets. Right? Yeah. How about this? That will be a narrative that probably a commissioner would try to run, but it wouldn't hold up because, listen, that'll be gaslighting if they tried that. Even small markets, even other big markets know that small markets are not respected by NBA. Honestly, and this has been suggested on this channel before, we're going to suggest it again. It'll be a good idea if the small market, mid-market teams maybe develop their own league, played, got their champion, and then, gave them all a fair shot. Then have that champion play. Oh, yeah, that's right. Almost going back to the ABA, NBA. Seriously. Let the NBA just be Boston, New York, Philly, Golden State, LA, and whatever 6 team you want there. Maybe get a South team in there. Maybe Atlanta, because they're a big market team. Let them play. And then let the rest of the NBA form a league to where they're going to get a fair shot, because they're not going to get a fair shot here. Yeah. Slim mentions Indiana would be the weakest champ. Yes, OKC not so much because they did rank number 1 defensively, so that would make sense if OKC won. Okay, and plus, look, add this. Excuse me. OKC also has an MVP on their squad, an MVP that beat out Jokic. And yes, to repeat this again, well, Jokic should have won. Jokic didn't do enough. Jokic didn't do enough. But his stats is called most valuable player, not most offensive player. You better talk. Slim, media gaslight us every day. It wouldn't be anything new. Right. And see, that goes back to the statement, Slim, that the NBA and all these government-ran sports organizations, they can do whatever they want with every storyline they want. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Not unless something political happens to them. Because they're beyond finances, bro. All this stuff about, well, it's the rating and fans have to show up to games and all this. That's actually gaslighting itself. Fans have to show up to games not because they bring money so much or that this league is dependent on money. Fans have to come to games so that they can show a show. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, it wouldn't be anything new. And let's be honest. To go back to this point here, Slim, it actually might be a good idea for them to do that, because that's kind of what these small market citizens and fan bases want. They want to feel as if they're getting a fair shot when they're not. They know they're not. But see, you can't do it too much, because if you do it too much, then those fan bases go ahead and become disinterested, and now their show don't look that great. But then again, add this up. You got stadiums. What? That seat about 30,000. Let's average out to 25,000 people, right? I mean, NBA is with Disney, right? I mean, ain't that why NBA on TNT went away? So they can go to Disney with NBC, Satan, aka ESPN, etc. So they already got extras. They got so many extras, so many wannabes there. That's why most of the people. One of the first things we did on this channel was a whole episode about seat fillers, right? Seat fillers are also wannabes that want to be in Hollywood productions. That's who's in those. That's a lot of who's in those stands. A lot of people in them stands don't buy no tickets. They're giving seats. We'll talk about it later. But yeah. So Slim mentions Indiana will be the weakest champ. Yes, OKC not so much because they're ranked number one defensively, so that makes sense. Yeah, but wouldn't OKC still be weaker than last season's Boston team, the Milwaukee team, the Golden State Warriors teams, Cleveland team? Wouldn't OKC be weaker than those teams or no? And if so, they still be the weakest team in the last almost, we'll call it last decade and a half. Mm-hmm. So, simple as that. Simple as that. And since we're talking about it, let's go back to this. Let's share the screen over here for a minute. We're going to look up this NBA ratings thing. All right, let's go here. All right. So that's the way they were saying it. Apologize for typing that word. Well, that's got to be cap. All right. Well, Okay, let's play a game called Cap or No. Does this seem right? Let's share this real quick. And we're going to respect the information. We're going to respect the information. Not a problem. So according to this is NBA. This is NBA.com. Here we go. So this is saying Game 6 of the Celtics and Knicks was the most watched program for May 16th across all television. This also says 2025 NBA playoffs viewership up 12% from last season on ESPN. Wait. That's a qualifier. Hold on. From last season on ESPN platforms. So that means this doesn't include TNT. This does not include that. Here's the question. So this is what Nielsen's saying, according to this. By the way, this article is from NBA.com, dated. What's it dated? Yeah, there you go. Dated May 20th, 2025. All right. So this is NBA on their own platform or on their own website stating that the viewership is up. But notice, from last season on ESPN platforms, this doesn't imply that it's up overall at this point. Oh, hold on. Here you go. Official release. That means this is what the NBA is saying about their own stuff. So this could be a narrative painting here too. This seems like cap. Let's keep moving. This is what else we're going to do. We're going to do June. Yeah, we're going to do June 2025. If we can. Uh-oh, wait. Y'all saw that? Oh, here you go. Here you go. Now this is from a lesser website here. So we're not the only one calling cap. NBA playoff ratings are not as strong as media claims. There you go. And what media claimed that? Well, we just showed you NBA.com. Politics. Politics. Oh, here you go. So this is what this article says. Let's see their case right now. Huh. The NBA fanboys were quite revved up last week when they learned that viewership for the opening weekend of the playoffs was up 17% compared to last season. You just saw that. We just showed you that in NBA.com. All right. While we try not to rain on their parade, we warned them the double-digit increase was driven primarily by the interest in how Luka Doncic and the Lakers would perform in the postseason. They were warned. Now, since the opening weekend, the NBA hasn't had a positive story to tell. In total, the first round averaged 3.27 million viewers across all these networks. NBA TV, right here, AB Crap, ES Satan, TNT, and NBA TV, right? For a modest increase of 4% year over year, right? Oh, not great when considering last season. Oh, here you go. Now this could be cap too. Now this could be cap too. Just because it's confirming something that we were kind of saying, don't mean it ain't cap. Not great when considering last season was one of the NBA's lowest rated first rounds in seasons. Moreover, Luka and the Lakers are no longer part of the equation. Put Simmons a narrative that the NBA is surging is not as here it is. So here's the bottom line right here. Let's go here. There you go. Put simply, the narrative that the NBA is surging is not as accurate as the media wishes it was. So that's that. Let's see who else got something to say about that. Now this is 6 days. Okay, here we go. So that one you just saw was from May 7th. Hold on a minute. Excellent, Slim. That's classic gaslighting. They made it seem overall if you read through it too fast. Also, Slim, it's gaslighting when it has to be considered that what? NBA.com is the one that started the story. That's like saying, according to the Rak Files is the Rak Files, and the Rak Files has had a media increase well over 500%. So says the Rak Files. I mean, how credible is that media source? Everybody, hold on 1 second. Also, Slim mentions, by the way, we're back. It's going to be an NBA shakeup this summer with trades and signings in an effort to raise ratings. I'm calling it now. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a whole lot of trade rumors going on. All right, Slim, we appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Salute, salute, salute. Be sure to subscribe to Big Slim. That's Slim with 2 M's. SLIMM with 2 M's. Salute, salute, salute. But yeah, so there's definitely going to be, and of course, during this season, it's going to be a whole lot of rumors about player moving there. A lot of it's clickbait trash, right? A lot of it's clickbait trash. But one of these things are probably going to happen. One of these things are definitely probably going to happen. So we're just going to go over some some trade rumors very quickly. And for those that want to read on their own where we got our information for that last topic as far as NBA ratings, one source is www.nba.com. The other source is Outkick, www.outkick.com. Simple as that. Oh, by the way, real quick before we leave this topic, here's another one. Front Office Sports, okay? Front Office Sports. This is as of May 28th, 2025. So this is just a couple days ago or a few days ago, however you want to look at it. NBA East Finals delivers strong TV ratings, but West is struggling. Well, look, it delivers strong TV ratings because there's a big market team involved. Y'all know the matchup. All right, cool. So let's see what we got here. Oh, that's another reason. Yeah, it was the TNT Swan song. That's drama, right? Knicks and Pacers are delivering strong ratings to TNT for the network's NBA Swan song. ESPN isn't getting close to the same numbers on the other side of the bracket with the West. That was Minnesota and OKC. Two mid-markets, right? According to this, Game 3 between New York and Indiana averaged 7.1 million viewers Sunday on TNT, the most watched Eastern Conference Finals Game 3 since 2015. Cavaliers versus Hawks. Gee, who was involved in that Cavaliers versus Hawks thing? The game is also the second most watched game of the 2025 playoffs, right behind Game 4 of the opening series between the Lakers. I mean, this is just a bad business model between the Lakers and Timberwolves, right? LeBron and Luka and Ant-Man. This NBA was Halliburton and Karl-Anthony Towns and Brunson. The first 3 games of the rivalry series averaged 6.8 million viewers. Okay. You would think, though, that even if it was a mid-market team, the West did have an MVP in OKC. By the way, don't be surprised. That's the reason why they also gave it to Shea. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to take a look at. Bottom line of us going through all that is to say, when it comes to this NBA Finals, obviously expect anything. We're still going to go with OKC for the reasons that were said. All that good stuff. Hold on one second. All right, cool. Yeah. Oh, and for those that's just asking on Instagram, yes, we did go over Battlerap already. We asked a question about how come individuals were not interested in their Spaces battle. Their Spaces card had a lot going on. But then, of course, this is a drama society. And look, as long as that pettiness and other things block seeing other virtual battles, man, we're only going to be getting partial information. Over here, we're not going to go for that. By the way, salute to TMR podcast, Gulag 5 is dropping. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's do a little tour real quick. Actually, let's do a great tour. We don't do nothing little. Let's do a big tour real quick. Okay, let's see if we can find this out. All right, TMR. All right, excuse me. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, so there's a couple things going on Gulag wise. Hold up. Let's share the screen very quickly. All righty. All right, so this is TMR Podcast. So here's their trailer. They have something. They have chaos and lag off on. What they got going?
But let's see how you measure when it sound like Congo. You have a choice, pick wins. But looking at your life, she obviously pixels like photos. She's got holes. Are you following? She's got holes. Why? Almost the matter long and I don't want to follow that to relay. Who says she got flow?
To get aired is the pilot episode. I know my fight is with you, but those niggas can still get tagged on the ladies' dumps. Nigga, I'll pop up at your section with the Western talk, and I ain't letting up. I'll turn your hood into a swingers club. Yeah, everybody getting fucked. Go punch, but this is where we separate. It's too basic when you flip names, hey, that's why you talk to the same place. As far as this country shit goes, I elevate and stay great. Right from time I've been the one running this bitch like A-Train. Wait, at arm's length, I keep crumbs all day. Carrying the weapon, not far from the reach, like Jesus' war play. We both on stage, hey!
Cause on that other side he was playing tough, playing God, deciding what goes and what goes not. Well, this is Battlerap Africa, the main top, and the genius, a chess guy. You can't play him and you played what? It's the same point.
Just to survive in Lagos as a rapper, you have to hustle hard, bro. I thank God we don't look like the type of shit we went through up in the Bondo. I remember putting up the rap shows. Niggas would size me up, hoping I wasn't mad dope. Till I started to spit magic in the house and turned that bitch to Encanto. I know a man.
I got blood and gang members, they already have your casket me. My plan was to shoot it off to bottom, then I off sides. But if you go past my last line of defense, that's when you see a flag get raised.
I'm like sitting his brother's house. They ain't got me to move since. You are the president of who, sis? Oh, we should shake hands after we do this? Nah. Tell me receiving national awards, I'm a rude bitch. Your whole movement.
Approaching your late 20s but still an academy player? Good luck. What the fuck, nigga? People like you, they should have set your head straight, but they gave you a new jersey to come into MJ. I took the ribbon, to the guy behind. I'm a beast to the handle. Carry Ivy, why would you do this? You know three little. My secret to the greatest license, the illegal. I get the shopping, take the shit out. Joe! You are a walking contradiction. Your drug addiction is why your record label dropped you. Let your fans know it now. The shit was fucking up your life. Even your mom begged you to slow it down. So when you claim to be a woman of principles, you can only doubt. Where was all that moral compass when your whole life was going south? You are a walking contradiction! Lagos, where that's how this brother does. Because where this ranking talks, you get sounds from the other side.
Okay.
Y'all know he only repeats his words when danger's lurking. See, I ain't rap for a year. And y'all said I was scared. Yeah, y'all said it like it's a fucking fact. I ain't rap because I had PTSD from all the rappers I done put in a body bag. Yeah, gift, yeah.
stop it right there. All right. So salute to TMR podcast, the Gulag series, Chaos and Lagos or Lagos. Alpha Hybrid was on not just that Spaces card. If not mistaken, Alpha Hybrid was also on a Gulag card also. So good to see him back. Main event with Gaddafi. Who else is familiar here? Queen Moda. Queen Moda was on that Spaces event. You know, all right, cool. Not the Master P. It would be nice to know what was the motivation behind that name, because obviously for a Western audience, they see Master P like, how come he's biting off of Master P's name like that? He may not be, you know, it may be a different situation. Joe Vegas, okay. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 6 battles, and look, whoa, wait a minute. Let's read this. We might have historical impact. Hold on. Okay, so the event starts 12 p.m. goes to 7 p.m. That's West African time. All right. This is pay-per-view. It's going to be pay-per-view. Obviously, get the tickets on eventbrite.com. This will be, where's the date? Oh, the date is probably going to be right toward the tail end of this. Okay, cool. This is straight up in Africa. This is Anthony Village, Lagos. The address is Pixel Factory. Hold on. I wonder if we can. All right. Well, Pixel Factory, what, 2/3 Aduwo Street. Ijo Estate. Ijo Street. Ijo Street. Ijo Estate. Salute to that. Look, now we're getting the expansion we're talking about when it comes to virtual. And this seems like it's going to be a virtual card too. No, it's not. It's going to be in person. Take that back. It's going to be in person. All right, cool. Salute to this. Look, when it drops on YouTube, we're going to review it. Oh, there's the date right there in the corner. The date is September 27th. So what is that? That's 3 months from now, September 27th, live in the continent of Africa, in the country of Lagos. If that's being said right. Yeah, in the country of Lagos. You have 6 battles. And look, we want to do our due diligence. So we probably won't be able to do too much with this as far as our usual system up until it drops on YouTube. But we're going to be looking forward to that. So that's TMR Podcast dropping that. Chaos and Lagos. Look for that September 27th. Okay. Gulag 5, first announcement.
Circuit 10, and they got me battling. Back in your day, you were the one to spot, but now your legacy's taken a sudden drop. Interest seems to plummet off, so this is where the bubble pops. How are you the uncle when I've given you that fatherly? Everything's gonna be alright hug after every single fucking loss when you really should have just done your job. Always flexing the varsity jacket like the cunts of boss when you should have been garnering fans to come and watch. I know everyone's talked about the choking days and how his brain's fuddled. The same struggle, but I will still choke him out. You wanna stop choking, Frost? Just say uncle.
Nigga, we ain't the same. I'm really in the field. I've been trying to tell you that if the knife I brought to Brixton jam, then I'm shutting down the bench. It was me and the bro in a drop down dinger, trying to have a block banging on an op block, ready to lift out the Uber. We were cross-branded, and you got there in Shepherd's Bush, shotting cocaine with a knife. But if you were, then you know before Westfield, it was White City.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Whispers Back Outside versus Dojo Gulag Volume 5. We're going to play the rest of the trailer in a minute. Look, Whispers, respectfully, might be the best one in the UK virtually that we've seen. Salute to Craig G. Salute to Crash. MK. All right. Salute to others we've seen. But Whispers is special. Going against Dojo and Whispers, if you're listening. And whatever Battle League can do it, we're just throwing out suggestions. Whispers, have you checked out that Spaces card? Maybe Whispers versus Appa. Maybe Whispers versus Spick Lago. Or Snip Lago. It's not, wait. Snip Drago. That could work. Maybe War Q versus Whispers could work. Something like that. You know? Even if it just happens on Spaces and we get it on YouTube. However it happens. Or maybe TM can set it up. Whoever sets it up. We got to see Whispers in more matches, man. Got to see Whispers in more matches. Now, full disclosure, not familiar with Dojo, but definitely willing to learn. Want to see what's up with Dojo. Dojo seems to know what he's doing in the ring and all that good stuff. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him here. Your current 2025 front runner for 2025 virtual battle rap champ, Greg the Great in the building. What up, Greg? You know what it is, man. You know what it is. Yep, and apologies. Okay, all right. Okay, Instagram, chill. Where was Rock Sunday? It got busy. It got hectic. We didn't get finished till like super late. Plus, I had to go to bed, you know, all that stuff. And, you know, our whole company is busy. You know, salute to Leave and Lifted. Just had a great weekend with them yet again, doing excellent business. So Greg is saying, man, Greg, maybe again, whichever Battle League sets it up. Oh yeah, hey Greg, hit the code. And Greg. Also, we want to ask you about the Spaces card that dropped. If you saw any of those matches, and which talent you were impressed with, if you saw any of it. Over here was very impressed with Appa. Was impressed with Snip Drago. Was impressed with him. War Q. What's that? Not Wonton. Wanson. Yeah. Wanson was impressive. Those are the four that stood out. And Greg, the code is in the chat is pinned. So you're more than welcome to come up if you like to. It's not a problem. But if not, no problem. Oh, right on cue. Ladies and gentlemen, we have him coming to the stage right now. Ladies and gentlemen, your current front runner for 2025 V Cody and for Battle Rap in general. Greg the Great to the building. Greg, what up, man?
What up, man?
It's all good, man. It's all good. Respect. You know how
Absolutely.
it goes
Shut
down.
up.
Yeah. Nah. Good to see you, man. Hope everything's going good with the family. Hope everything's going good regardless of all that. Yeah, we're just going over some upcoming battle rap cards. TM Gulag 5 dropping. The first announcement they have is Whispers versus Dojo. Have no idea about Dojo. Willing to learn. Whispers very familiar with Whispers. Whispers is a bad man. Whispers is a bad man. That ring. You got an in? He's an in?
Yeah, he's in.
Okay. If it ever came down, again, obviously not on the Gulag for whatever reason, but if it ever came down to you possibly versus Whispers, would you do that? And I'm saying if it was on a whole
Set it up in person.
That'd be fire.
Fuck this virtual shit.
That'd be fire.
Set it up in person, 3 rounds, man. Nothing less. 2.5 to 3 minutes, man. You want to test your mic? Come test your mic for real, man. Don't do it from the safety of your own home. You heard? Come see me.
Hey, you know what? We be in tune for it.
I'm like that, bro.
Hey. Well, look, you don't duck no smoke. You haven't ducked no smoke. You're undefeated. You're the front runner for 2025. I mean, you know, V Cody, a virtual battle rap champ. I mean, it speaks for itself. So yeah, you know, that would be a fire battle. You know, now when it would happen, that's up to whoever gets involved. But we'd like to see that battle. See. Oh, speaking of which, did you see the Spaces card that dropped? It shows the crack stream prices.
Unfortunately, I only saw what I needed to see.
Okay. So what exactly did you see? Which battles?
The two pertinent ones.
So you're talking about Loso versus. Let's share the screen. Let's share the screen a little bit here. A whole lot of it actually. Let's get that. Let's get this here. Let's get this here. Hold on a minute.
Very lackluster.
All right. And by the way, there's some other performances on this card though that were that actually did what it's supposed to do. If you most certainly did. Let's go to here. All right. And let's go to here. All right. Yeah, it seems like most of this side only saw two battles, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
And the two battles.
what's the point in watching all of them if I'm not gonna ever be in the same quote unquote spaces as these other niggas, man? It doesn't make sense for me to fucking waste time, effort, energy, and sometimes even resources by way of phone bill to fucking watch that shit, bro. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Battle rap has enough individuals than for me to be sitting here caring about each and every one of them. I'm cool, bro.
Okay. Even let's say no, it's cool. It's cool. Even if it was a situation, let's say it was a battle that maybe you don't want to see, but if someone's just going bananas, or not bananas, someone's going off, doing what they're doing, that wouldn't be a reason to see it. It's a case in point. Here's an example. Okay, like here's an example. For example, okay. So we don't get to these two in a minute. Okay, not so much this one because Catatonic was just not very good. Tieso Watson. Now in this battle, Watson was going off. Tieso started strong.
Watson been ducking me for years, man. Let's be clear, bro.
Oh, straight. There's history. Oh, didn't know that.
Watson, man. Watson, whatever the fuck you call yourself, nigga. You want to claim you trying to get back outside and all that shit, bruh? The best way for you to be is over this way.
Hey, that'd be a fire battle. There ain't no question about that.
Nope. Come on, man. I taught the young boy everything he know, man.
Oh, we got a mentor situation. Okay.
Come on, man.
Wow.
He been around since I've been doing this back in, you know what I mean?
Have y'all battled similar competition or no?
No.
Okay, all right. So we're all.
He's had significantly less battles than I have, but I don't think there's anybody in virtual who's got as many battles as I do.
Okay. And now that's respected. So Watson's been ducking Greg the Great. That's exclusive.
I've been saying and he kept agreeing to it. It hasn't really been a full duck. It just, you know what I mean? He kind of went away. After the last time we spoke, which was some time ago, I think I might have even still been in New York, so it had to have been a little over a year ago. You know what I'm saying? You know, what happened, bro? What happened? You went away. You know what I'm saying? We were vying for it and we was gonna try to shop it around, see what niggas thought. And I'm not respectfully speaking, I don't want to do no spaces battles, man.
Oh, there it is. So what's your view on spaces battles? Is it that it's not worth it? Is it that it's not, you don't think it does anything for you?
I don't really think it'll do anything for me. As a matter of fact, I think it's more along the lines of it's. I feel like there's a negative connotation to it, to where niggas can automatically assume that you reading because it's purely audio. They don't get to see you. They don't get to see you. You know that you memorize your shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to do bad in a spaces battle when the only thing you have to do is rap, right?
Well, it's interesting because on that card we did have a couple that didn't do well, even with
Which
that
is
situation.
which is exactly my point. That just
Gotcha.
feeds my point even more.
Right. Mm. So did anybody? Okay, so you're familiar with Wansi T. So what about this one? Spirit and Neff. Any familiarity?
No.
It seemed like if memory serves right, like Neff went off in that battle, I believe. You know, he had a good performance that way. Okay, who else we got? You familiar with Trent YTC and Zyma or Enzima?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. So and see that's kind of like reflective as you see. Nobody voted on this match. Nobody. And listen, this has been here, and honestly, even discussing it, a lot of people didn't even have anything to say about the match. There's been no dialogue about it. A little bit about this one, Spirit and Neff. TL Swanson actually got some decent dialogue there. You familiar? Oh yeah, my bad. You familiar with wordplay or catatonic at all?
Uh Depends on which wordplay. There's so many word plays, which is, if you ask me, it's like, bro, y'all can't be creative enough to come up with a different name. Like, so
There is. Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
I'm familiar with like a C word play. Shout out Barry to Death. I'm familiar with wordplay that flies in C, which is one of the people that Trauma had battled. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm familiar with those two guys, but if this guy's name is just wordplay, then I'm not even interested because the name just doesn't do it. Like none of these names on this list is something that would strike even remotely a little bit of interest
Okay.
to where I would even be like, oh, I gotta check this out. With a name like that, I gotta, you know what I mean? Because that's purely all we have to go off of at first is just the name.
What we're going to do actually later on this week, and we might do it Wednesday for the message music sessions. What we're going to do, we're actually going to play some of these battles. The ones that obviously we may or may not play the two battles that got the most views or not views. They got the most traction. So we may play a little bit of the because a lot of these are just one round. The catatonic wordplay, the TS Watson, et cetera, et cetera. So we might actually play these battles on Wednesday, and then obviously you already know if you're in the building, give your thoughts and all that good stuff. Oh, and by the way, Greg, haven't forgotten. We're going to be sending that thing we talked about. We're going to send it to you this week. Apologize, man. It's been crazy. Have
Oh,
not
no
forgotten.
worries. I mean, hey, whenever, you know what I'm saying? I actually, and I don't want to do this here because I respect your platform too much.
Yeah.
But, if anybody in attendance is looking for a little, you know what I mean? I do accept any kind of support of any kind.
Mm.
you know,
Say no more. Say no more. We got
just
Jason them in the building, and Jason them. Apologize. Didn't want to cut you off. Just wanted to get to this because this is huge, right on the topic we're talking about. Jason them said they do be reading. Loso admitted it. Loso kind of alluded it. Jason, by the way, welcome. But Loso did kind of admit it as far as letting that be an allegation against his opponent in this battle. It wasn't her because Loso was just like rapping through too much stuff, but he kind of did allude to that in this battle. So, and listen, Jason, Loso wasn't the only one that admitted they be reading. Who's the other? Lockhart mentioned. Let's get somebody different that mentioned it because we talk a lot about Lockhart and Traumatosis, etc. Let's get some name. Who's that? Oh yeah, Pyro admitted that they read on Spaces. Yeah, Pyro been said that. Salute to J Pyro, Nightmare J Pyro. Salute. So now the question will be, what do we do with the Spaces battles as far as like when it comes to breaking down? Should any of those guys be ranked? So let's say you get a Spaces battle that's undefeated, getting guys out of here, but that's more than likely a reading lead. Is it that, well, yeah, Rock, he's undefeated over there, but they'll all be reading. So one way to look at it is like, well, since they be reading, they should get disqualified. Or,
facts.
But wait, there's a flip side. Or since they all read, it's basically a level playing field, and whoever wins wins. Because it's not like you got one reading and one not.
But see, I'm the type of person, Rock. I don't give a fuck about what the I don't too much care what the popular opinion is. I'm not gonna read because I got into this to show that I'm better than the rest of y'all. So why would I, follow suit with something I don't necessarily agree with? I'm not doing that. So yeah, I would probably be the only one up there not reading, bro. And it would just go to show levels, bro. Like I really do this shit, and I care about it enough to not taint the sport with buffoonery like reading, bro. The whole purpose of this sport is to have it memorized to be performed, and you can't read on stage. I mean, shit, cannabis did it, but whatever.
And Big K did it, and Reed Dollars did it, and QP, Queen Flavor did it.
Arsenal even pulled out his phone. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, so,
right. List is pretty, for lack of a better term, list is pretty long on these guys that be reading. But see that's where it gets very interesting, because obviously over here, Greg, what we want to do, we want to give all sorts of consideration to all the diverse world of battle rap, as far as independent battle rap and of course virtual battle rap. But if it's going to be like, well, look, Battlerap over here, they put in violations against what virtual should be. So now it's like, dang. But then the other side's gonna be like, well, wait a minute, don't forget it. We're virtual too. We're virtual too. You know one way to do it. It kind of goes to what Jason M just posted. Spaces battles is virtual proving grounds. So could that be that the furthest so maybe they would get their own ranking from this system to where, like, okay, this is who the best virtual spaces battles are, or battlers are, and they would just stop it there. And then that would leave them off of the overall rankings. You know what I'm saying? But then of course, see, one thing this teaches is that, hey, you can't satisfy everybody, but there will be a limit and there will be a standard set to where, like, okay, who gets included and who may not. Who may not get included, because to be respectful as to many different styles of virtual battle rap that's out here, but if it's going to be underwhelming or it's going to be a violation against the standard, it doesn't mean that it should like compromise what we do either, with how we rank. Now watch this though.
Right.
And this is where it gets interesting. So if we take Jason's comments, salute to Jason M, spaces, let's put that up again. Spaces battles is virtual proving grounds, right? What do we do? Now we're going to get to the enchilada. What do we do with this? If Snip Drago is defeating a finalist from 2024, and Snip Drago did it in a proving ground element, what does this do against Loso, and what does this do for Snip Drago? Because Snip, look, not just by this post, but by discussions and submissions, Snip Drago won against Loso. Even Loso saying it. Salute to Loso, no disrespect. So does this mean that, well, yeah, Snip Drago won against Loso, but it was on a proven ground battle, and Snip could have been reading to beat him. But of course, there's been no allegation that Snip was reading. None. So what do we do with this? Or does it just say, well, that's cool. Loso lost on the proven ground to Snip Drago, and everybody just stays the same. What do we do with that?
Hold on, because I don't know if that's my phone doing that crackling or.
Yeah. It's mad choppy. The phone is mad choppy.
Give me 1 second.
No problem. So Jason, real quick, since you're in the chat, and we're gonna get Greg up in a minute, or get Greg back on the panel in a minute. What do we do with Snip Drago? There we go. Oh wow. Hold on. So you're saying, wait a minute though. Hold on, Jason. Wait, repeat the statement now. You're saying because Snip clearly beat a finalist and one of Virtual's best, all he did was earn a battle versus a low tier after Loso? So where should that battle happen? If Snip Drago chose to take a virtual battle versus a low tier, where should that battle happen? Should that happen in Spaces again? But then again, it's still gonna be on that scene that's getting criticized. All right, we got you. We got you right now.
It's still doing it. It's still doing it.
Nah. It's still choppy.
Yeah, it's still.
Oh yeah, it's even worse. Yeah, it's still worse. It's way worse. Yeah. Let's get back to the chat. So wait a minute. But Jason, is that logical? Snip beats Loso. So basically, Snip goes from Loso to battling Infamous. No disrespect to Infamous. Or are you saying that Loso is now a low tier battle rapper, which he can't be? Not in virtual. Loso can't be a low tier virtual. Okay, we got you. Jason then mentions, hold on, let's get it right. Jason, he might have been reading, we don't know, VBL or TM Marley. Okay. What about the ring? Now maybe Snip, maybe this would mean Snip could battle on the ring versus somebody. So see, now what we're doing, we're getting kind of layers and levels to these leagues and also these areas. And we're probably going to have to put that to a vote. To like, no, not a vote, but data. We ain't going to say a vote, a data. So we're like, okay, if Spaces is virtual, EBL is virtual, audio is virtual, you got Jiggy Battle League that does audio. We're going to have to ask the question, where does audio rank versus virtual now? Is it on the same level, below, or whatever? And if so, why? And we're kind of getting to that in this discussion here. What we got? You would give Jason. Did you hear Snip Drago? You would have Snip Drago rap against Robs or A-Fan in the ring. It is no disrespect to A-Fan or Robs, but Snip Drago went crazy on Loso. Isn't that? It seems like Snip. Shouldn't Snip get like a spasmatic on the ring? Not a Robs or A-Fan? Or what? Oh, I got it. Well, then again, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's slow it down. It could be like, well, Rock, you might be going against ability, but we got to see how that ability holds up with us looking at him to be sure that reading wasn't happening. We got to take that reading away officially. Okay. And look, salute to this discussion, taking reading serious. There was a debate about, wow, is reading no longer serious anymore? So at least we're getting back to that. Wow, that's a submission. Jason M, audio is lowest level. Ooh, lowest. So obviously, there's going to be polarizing takes on that. Obviously, the audio will say, we're not lowest low because over here, we have this and this, and we don't have no choking. Virtual will say, yeah, you may not have no choking. You may have all these guys snapping, but you're probably reading and you're cheating. That reading is cheating. So it might be, ooh, yeah, this is what we're here for. Let's read the next comment, please. He got to prove he can do that off memory. That would be crazy if for just to respond. That'd be crazy if Snip Drago did that against Loso, and then simply by doing from memory, he couldn't even get past an A-Fan or Robs. And again, want to be respectful. This is no shot at A-Fan or Robs. If we're just talking about the performance we've seen versus what we've seen from A-Fan and Robs. Because of the way Snip Drago was snapping as if he could hang with Clip and Teeksta and stuff. The way Snip Drago was coming on in that battle. Pause if necessary. Okay. So now it'll be, it'll be up to Snip Drago. Look, it could be someone from the audio that's like, well, I disagree with y'all. I appreciate the offer, but you don't respect where I come from. Whatever. Y'all can think what you want. I'm gonna go ahead and go this other route. He had the chance to do that. Okay, this is fire. All right. Now, Jason, real quick, we asked Greg this, and Greg, no problem. Greg mentioned we just gonna stay here. There, no problem. You're more than welcome to stay in the chat. No problem. We got you. Jason, did you see the Spaces card? By any chance, did you see the Spaces card? And who impressed you off of that? Who impressed you off the Spaces card? Again, Snip Drago was impressive. Appa was impressive. Watson was impressive. And when we say impressive, we're talking about memorable. We ain't talking about perfect. We ain't talking about ready to go against Rum Nitty on Gnome or nothing. We're just talking about, hey, these are guys that stood out. We'll say stood out. Now we'll stick with it. We'll say impressive. On that card, amongst their competition, they were impressive. We're sticking with it. So Watson, War Q, Snip Drago, Appa. I think we're missing. Oh yeah, and Wordplay. Wordplay was doing something. Unless we got the players mixed up. And again, we're going to be going through that Spaces battle card. We're going to be doing that Wednesday night. Definitely. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Jason, did you see this card, the Spaces battle card? Did you see Snip Drago versus Loso? Did you see Appa versus Crisis? Did you see any of these battles? Okay. Also, again, there's this. Greg, real quick, what did you think of Appa? Oh, here we go. Okay, so Jason did see the card. Snip was impressive. Catatonic was okay. Catatonic was boring, man. Wordplay was better than Catatonic, no? Okay. Jason M. Catatonic needs a lot of work not on bars per se. Catatonic got to wake up faster. Look, battle rappers, you don't have to yell, but you have to battle. You have to battle way more soon and way more often than that, respectfully. I mean, because this whole, and that's why I came off like, oh my goodness gracious. That's why the presentation was as if it was like reading, because it sounded boring. Again, 2025, bars are not enough. You got to battle. Jason M. Okay, let's go to that right now. Let's go to that right now, since Jason M mentioned that. Okay, we'll go here. 100%. That's exactly what we're saying. And conviction. But let's go to this. Here's Appa versus Crisis. Let's go here. Boom. Perfect. So according to this, Appa, did Appa body Crisis? We should have been asked that question early in this live. We should have asked it. Did Appa body Crisis? And here's another question: did Crisis sound better? Because it seemed to us that Crisis improved, or was it just like, nah, Rock, you tripping? It was just regular Crisis. Crisis didn't say nothing different. Crisis was whatever. Because look, it's possible that both could be accurate. Appa body Crisis, but Crisis improved. It could be possible, or it could be Appa, was clear over Crisis, but Crisis improved to where he didn't get bodied. What are we doing? What are we doing here? All right, C-Bot's in the building. Salute to C-Bot. So, C-Bot, is the no for that Appa did not body Crisis, or is the no for Crisis did not improve? Salute to C-Bot. By the way, be sure to subscribe to C-Bot. Okay. So Jason is like, Crisis was cruel, but Appa definitely showed levels. Hey, Jason, who was the performer of the night on this card? Was it Wordplay? Was it Appa? Was it Watson? Was it War Q? Somebody else? Was it Snip Drago? Who's the performer tonight on this card? Appa has a case. Appa went crazy. And again, the Crisis wasn't trash at all. It would have been nice if Crisis would have landed some of these punches in more definite spots. Probably synced up that rhythm. Not the rhythmic pattern of the flow, but more Here's the period at the end of the sentence. What we got? Okay, so this is submission. Salute. We have a submission for Snip Drago being performer of the night for the Spaces card, the crowd. Salute. All right. There's a case for that. Not mad. There's a case for that. And this for anybody in the chat that's watching. Who was performing tonight on this card? Greg versus Snip would be a good battle, especially because it seems like Greg wants to battle in person or virtual. Yeah. Honestly, Snip versus Greg should be in person. Yeah. Because they seem both to. That battle has to, in person, what in person shows is even more of the performance, of course. And we get more of an experience. Snip was not just animated, but it could have been that audio took away from Snip's performance. All right. So we got one for Snip. Anybody else that's performing tonight on the Spaces card for those that saw it? C-Bot, who you got? Oh, wow. Over Snip? Hold on. This is submission. So, C-Bot, are you saying Appa was the performer tonight on the Spaces card? Or somebody else? I mean, we're just overlooking wordplay. We're overlooking War Q. We're overlooking Snip for performer tonight? No, my bad. So we got Snip. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. All right. So we have one submission for Appa, one submission for Snip. That's what we're talking about. And yes, we will put it on the Rak Files post, all this good stuff. We're going to ask the question. We'll put it on the, how we do. Got you. All right. That's a double down. So C-Bot has Appa as performer. There's a case for that. Catatonic, to go back. C-Bot is compromised. Somebody programmed C-Bot. He did. Appa cooked in those impersonation battles. Yeah. Who's beating Appa? Because we did a little research, and unless we tripping, it's possible. Then find a battle that Appa lost. As far as virtual, and again, could be tripping. But who has defeated Appa in a battle virtually? And also another question for the chat, and then after this, we'll get up out of here. We will be back Wednesday. And again, your eyes don't deceive you. This is Monday. This is the Monday version of Rock Sports Sunday combined with Battlerap. Y'all know what we do. Hey, we didn't go live last night. We're going live tonight. So it's as simple as that. We be busy. All right. By the way, these are the results we have for a Snip Drago Loso battle. I forgot about that. Good call. We'll have to find that. Eunice versus Appa. We have to find that. Hey, yo, Wig. Android Wiggins. Why don't you battle Appa? Why don't you? Android Wiggins versus Appa virtually would be fire. Y'all both got the same aggression. Y'all both talk. Y'all both got bars. Let's see it. Okay. We got a tough call. All right. Okay. Hey, we're here to ask questions and of course, gather data. Everybody likes data. With the Snip Drago and Loso battle, right? Question here. Now, Jason brought up a point, a very strong point, actually, that, okay, Snip Drago showed that in an audio battle, and in an audio was called the lowest. Of all virtual battle rap, audio was called the lowest. We're doing this reset. So what's being asked is, who should Snip Drago battle next and where? Wiggins can't be scared of Appa. Wiggins can't be scared of Appa. Why would Wiggins be scared of Appa when he battled Royalty? Royalty and Appa are very similar. Nah. Come on, Wig, you better not be scared. Wig, you better not be scared, man. That'll be a fire battle. Great the Great. You see how C-Bot didn't deny those payment allegations? C-Bot, you better not be compromised. C-Bot, the C better not stand for compromised bot. Come on now. Who should Snip Drago battle next? And where? For that matter, who should Appa battle next and where? Because those are the two names we're talking about most. C-Bot, you see how I ain't confirmed them either. Uh-oh. Let's go. What we doing? This is gonna be fascinating. You know what? Shout out to Crack Stream Crisis for showing these Spaces battles. Now we got a whole lot more to consider. That's what we want. Greg's like, compromised bot is not your name. Deal with it. Uh-oh. But who should Snip? Okay. Here's a suggestion from Jason M. Snip versus Social, Rob's A-Fan, Capri, or Dread. Snip versus Capri will work. That's more of a first one there. Dreadhead King. Shout out to Dreadhead King, by the way. So that's one for Snip. What about Appa, Jason? Who should Appa battle next and where? Oh, what we doing? King Cole, salute. By the way, everybody be sure to subscribe to King Cole. Notification button, share the channel, all that. King Cole, what up? Let Wiggins be done. Loso showed you the performance you get when you make someone do something they don't want to do. So Wiggins don't want to battle Appa? Did Wiggins mention he don't want to battle Appa? If he did, then there's a moot point. All right. And by the way, Cole, this week, don't be surprised. You should know what we're talking about. So now, if Wiggins say he don't want to battle Appa, then, and if as long as it's not for like a week season, okay. Okay, so C-Bot. Okay, this is yes, awesome call. Yeah. Now wait. So Jason M. Appa was battling on audio also. So you're saying that Appa, so you're convinced Appa wasn't reading. Because for Appa to jump from battling Crisis, getting a clear win, to ME, how come Snip Drago don't automatically go to, how come the narrative changes for Appa? Although, and this is not saying the battle ain't fire. You know, this ain't saying that. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second. Call coming in. Hold on 1 second. You know what? While y'all hold on, y'all enjoy this video right here. Hold on a minute. Y'all enjoy this video right here. Yeah. This is going to be our commercial break for a minute. I got to attend to something real quick. Yeah. Hold on a minute. Boom. Enjoy.
This one out team, they are losing today. Thankful their season.
Hold on. Let's get that right before we do what we do. Get that from the beginning. Wheel that.
This one team, they are losing today. Thankful their season is over now. New York, lose York, Coach Tom runs down the team. No more championship dream. Those 7 players are tired and worn out. Lose your, and not win in the square, won't get a ring anywhere. That's why they lose. Lose your, lose your coach. Tom runs down the team. No more championship dream. Those 7 players are tired and worn out. Lose your, lose your. They cannot win in the square. Won't get a ring anywhere. That's why they lose. Lose your, lose your.
All right, cool. Appreciate that. So salute to Lose York. Salute to you, Lose York. Anyway. Okay, so we got Appa's Eye Battle just dropping today. Salute. Okay. Everybody be sure to check out Appa's Eye Battle just dropping right on Eye Battle. That's live on YouTube, man. Salute. What we got? So because of seeing him on outside cars, that's why he gets in me. But Snip Drago hasn't been seen. All right. Salute. That's fair. Okay. See by mentions very quickly. That's why I say Appa is the king of audio. To be honest, I feel like he's had a bigger impact from audio, almost more than Eunice. Okay. Fire. All right. So anybody else? Who else should Appa battle next? Who should Appa battle next? We got one for ME. What about Appa versus Let's get somebody. What about Appa versus Reek Ruger? No, yes. Yes, no. Maybe so. That'd be interesting. Snip Drago versus OG Capri will work, depending on what OG Capri wants to do, of course. Yeah, we're getting some good suggestions for some battles. We're getting some real good suggestions for some battles. And plus, these are different matchups than we've seen before. What we won't. Okay, cool. Alrighty. How about, okay, so we did Appa. Sorry, my bad. We mentioned Appa. We mentioned Snip Drago, right? Anybody else does anyone want to see anybody else from this card? Jason then mentioned Kanatana could use some work. What about wordplay? Now Greg on the panel mentioned that wordplay's name. It just doesn't ring any bells. Wouldn't be interested in seeing it. Is that a consensus? Does anyone want to see wordplay battle again? Watson went off. Okay. Neff for Spirit. Probably Neff. And again, we're gonna go through that battle card. We're gonna go through that battle card Wednesday, at least a little bit of it. And Trent, YTZ, and Zyma. Also, Just to go here. Alrighty. Did anybody catch the Glow Man versus War Q battle? Might want to check that out. Might want to check that out when you can. That, if not mistaken, that may have been called the Battle of the Night by the judges of that Spaces card. You know, that may have been called that. So there you go. All righty. See about mentions back to the op question. Abba versus Greg in person, audio or virtual would be dope. Same with Reek. Okay, we got a submission. We got a submission. Fire. Abba versus Greg in person, audio. Reek. This would push Reek's pin a little bit to battle Abba. You know, because Reek already has the aggression and conviction to match Abba. So let's see what those pins do. Simple as that. All right, cool. All right, a couple show notes. Again, apologize for Sunday. And I'm not really apologizing to y'all, just really apologizing to our team, you know, but apologize for Sunday. Had a lot to do. You know, our company's busy doing what we do. Simple as that. You know, salute to independent music, salute to independent live performance. Salute to independent business. Anything that's against mainstream is our dream. Simple as that. Also, salute to Leave It Lifted this past weekend. Completely going crazy in Chelsea, Michigan. Man, there's some video out about it. We may have to play some of that. You know, so for those that like reggae rock, you know, enjoy. Wednesday we will be going live again. It will be message music sessions live in the building as usual. All this stuff. Hopefully, Restream can do something better with this. When we share the screen and play the video, man, Restream really is not hooking us up, you know. So, really don't want to go back to you know where, but we might have to, because even though it's a difference in price, it's also a huge difference in quality, you know, and that's affecting what we want to do. So we'll see about that. Obviously, this weekend. Okay. See about it. If it's in person, it's got to be on iBattle though. That's fine. That'll work. Yeah, Oppa versus Reek on iBattle would be nice. Would be real nice. And if Reek has earned it, to step up and like deal with even deal with some more tough competition. Wordplay first Fro Crew works. Yeah. Good matchup. Should Sick Mosh battle Catatonic? Sick Mosh could battle Catatonic. Sick Mosh versus Catatonic. War Q and Don Vito. I don't know. It's just like they kind of remind of each other, but Don Vito may not be around. Maybe War Q versus Abysmal, just to start things off. See what happens. Glow Man, and again, we're gonna play him. Glow Man versus who should Glow Man? Glow Man versus MK could work. That could work. But now this is a good matchup. Wordplay versus Fro Cool. Yeah, that worked. And Jason, salute to you actually seeing the card also. Salute to that. Jason, real quick before we get out of here, what do you think of the Glow Man versus War Q battle? Did you catch it? Because if I'm not mistaken, they may have called that battle of the night too, or not too, but they may have gotten a lot of consideration for battle of the night. Oh, and to the Instagram individual. Hey, look, we went over that. We went over the whole ratings and TV ratings for NBA. A lot of conflicting reports. NBA.com is saying that they had all right, cool. So Jason, Wednesday we're gonna re-show that. Not a problem. We're gonna re-show that and get some thoughts. Simple as that. Salute to that. But yeah, as far as for the Instagram, yeah, man. NBA.com is claiming they had this huge surge, but they put a qualifier after it. Well, we've seen a 12% or 14% increase, whatever it was, in our playoffs. But of course, they said on ESPN, they didn't mention the mother brands because the mother brands didn't show no increase. Can we just be honest? Less people are watching the NBA. No matter who says what, less people are watching the NBA, and even worse than that, whether they're just because you know what, there's a thing, just because you watch something don't mean you care. It could just be on. So Seabob mentions this. Honestly, I think Reek facing Apple would force Reek to jump in his bag and show more performance, personality, humor, just like he does in his. Yeah. You know what's funny? When a lot of these guys, we're going to go back to a subject we said before. Some of these, maybe we should start presenting more face-off cards. During the face-off, we get more elements of a battle and a face-off than we do when they rap. It's something about the memorization of the material. Maybe the material is not connected to them. In his troll bag, for his Apple for his drum in his troll bag. Show more personality. Yeah, okay. That could be an entertaining product. It'd be a very entertaining product. Okay. And well, see, that goes back to since most of battle rap, and we're not just talking about this community, but most of battle rap, they like the trolling, they like toxicity, they like drama, right? Should there be more face-off cards? The face-off have been way more. We'll say it again. The face-offs have been way more entertaining than the battles. Should there be more face-off cards? Let's be honest. A lot of these individuals are better at face-offs and promo like that, and crash outs, not crash outs, but promo like that than they are at battle rapping. Be honest. And it's almost like the battle, or like the rapping gets away in the battle they want to do. We'll keep asking that question. And yes, we know. Rock, you brought that up before. We said no, man. No, man, that's going against the whole thing. All right. But what gets more traction? What gets talked about more? The battle or the face-offs? Dangster, let's be straight. Dangster and Jack Ashton just had a crazy face-off, right? Are we really going to sit here and say that battle's going to be just as crazy as that? Is it as far as the possibility? See about so basically a card of people talking ish. Close. Basically a card of individuals facing off and yeah, promoting ish. It'd be more promoting. That's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do at face. You're supposed to sell a fight, right? So how about this? It's a card of individuals selling a fight. Selling a fight. Yeah. Just a straight up card of that. C-Bot says F is set it up. So that's one for yes. Okay, Jason M says the battle between Dangster and Jack Ashton is going to be awful. That face-off wasn't. There's something, you know what it is when it comes to rapping? It takes a lot of a different skill set to be more organic with the rap than it does with the talk. Because let's be honest, a lot of people writing these bars and stuff, these bars are not really them. They're trying to portray something they're not. But when it's just talking, having a conversation, or selling a fight, that's who they are. Now, maybe if they were more organic when they rap, it isn't. This not just talking about. It's not just talking about Gangsta Jack. We're talking about face-offs and battles in general. Here's an example. Could you imagine if D Money and Crisis just stopped at the face-off? How crazy that would have been? And if that was called a battle versus them battling, that's just an example. See about, so are they going to be face-offs for face-off cards? No, not at all. Wouldn't have to have it. All the promoters will promote it, and then the face-off happens. Yeah, the promoters would do that. The people that run the bloggers, the channels, whatever else, they would do that, and then the face-off cards would happen. Let's be honest. The face-off cards, it's kind of like doing a live, right? Somebody go live, and you let it develop, individual's going to show up anyway. Yeah, it'll be scheduled. The notice will go out, but it wouldn't have to be like promoted, like, hey, be sure to come see this thing. Come on, man. Social media lives for drama. The drama takes care of itself. I mean, don't get it twisted. There could be press releases. Let's get fancy. There could be press releases for the face-off cards. Or not press release, I'm sorry, press conferences for it. Yeah, it could be a press conference. It wouldn't be a face-off, though. Think about boxing. Those are not face-offs. Those are just press conferences. Now, some press conferences turn into a face-off, but those are press conferences. So it'll be a press conference, then the face-off. Simple. Just like press conference in a boxing match. That's just an example. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's all about highlighting the best skill set of a lot of this talent. That even goes for outside battle rap. I mean, how many in the mainstream battle rap? A lot of these mainstream battle rap, when they do a face-off, it's better than their battle too. They're more comfortable. Surf is a far better face-off guy than the rapper, for example. And there's no debate against it. It can be even said that Cassidy is a better face-off guy than a battle rapper in this style. Now, you do have the occasion where you have someone that's a better battle rapper than the face-off guy. So they wouldn't be on a face-off card. See how that works? This is just adding another layer to what type of entertainment you can get. Look, you ready for this? Y'all want to hear a quote-unquote prediction? The future of battle rap is going to be face-offs anyway. Have you noticed in a lot of these battles that there's a lot less skill and a lot less uniqueness being shown anyway? Most of these people are still trying to audition for URL, even though URL don't want to be around no more. So slowly but surely, their actual rap is going away. The rhyming is going away. All the things we like about it is going away. Most people just want to see people talk trash to each other anyway. Put a card about it. And now, man, there's a lot to this. We don't give away too many jewels, but there's a lot to this. See about mentions? I will admit the community needs more type of scheduled competition other than just battles, like maybe debate cards, roasting cards, etc. And face-off cards. Yeah. And not just the community, battle rap in general. You can do this stuff live. We just got to be straight up. Most of the talent in a lot of these battle rappers isn't in their rapping. Not saying that there's none that don't have the rapping talent. That's not the point. Most of the talent in a lot of these individuals, whether they're in virtual, audio, or outside or mainstream, is when they face off. That's the more exciting thing. Hasn't it been said that, wow, you got to watch the face-off, might give away too much material? Well, if you have a face-off card, that would be impossible. It'll be consistently new material. And debate cards and roasting cards and stuff. Yeah. Well, Rod, since you put it out there, why don't you present it? That may happen, that may not happen. Look, ready for this? Being an idea source of a lot of things, just because we're putting an idea out there, it doesn't mean that we should be the one to produce it. Because let's be honest, to produce something like that, it takes a lot of layers and a lot of moving parts. We deal with enough. Okay, we can't. No, let's not say moving parts. Yeah. It takes a lot of layers and a lot of things and details. No, not in the debate. Not in the debate. In a face-off. Infamous versus Kid Dangerous in a face-off would be crazy. I mean, let's be honest. Don't want to hear them. Don't want to hear the debate. That wouldn't. No, them debating would not be fired. Their face-off would. The face-off would. The most entertaining we've heard Kid Dangerous outside of the Bonnie Godiva, rhyme scheme and all that, is when he faces off. Kid Dangerous, honestly, he may end up in the future being one of the best promoters of battle rap out here. He's a really good promoter. King Cole. Completely agree. King Cole mentioned Dev had that debate card. I wish it would have happened. But see, that's a debate card. Face-off card with that, with face-off card also, yes. But see, and you know what? One thing about the only criticism about that debate card should have been a definite topic told in advance. Maybe it should be where you have the people advertised, and then you say what the topic is the day of, almost like a blackout effect. If you're going to do a debate card, just this way, you have a shock effect. You know, delay the topic, tell the matchup, and then move. King Cole. Oh, they faced off already? Okay. But look, personalities like that. Oh, well, since they faced off already, and then yeah, okay. Go ahead do your debate. No problem. Be honest with you, King Cole forgot that they faced off already. Completely forgot about it. At least, you know. But okay. This is a new era in a lot of ways. I'm gonna say it again. The rapping is going away, man. The rapping's going away. Not from everybody, no. But from the majority, from about 80% of these individuals that's rapping in these battles, it's obviously not quite. You know what I'm saying? It's not quite. I mean, let's be honest. We had JC and Averb rap against each other. You know? That battle. I mean, JC went off on Averb. Averb does Averb when Averb don't feel like rapping. I mean, there's so many examples of this. Wait a minute, whoa, we're getting confused. King Cole, before their battle, definitely want to see them debate. You rather see them battle than them debate? Cap, no way. No. A lot of these personalities, Cole. Case in point, we got King Cole right here. If King Cole was doing the face-off as a battle, King Cole get a lot of people out of here. How about this? King Cole, y'all keep talking debate. You're missing the face-off. But okay. This is hilarious, by the way. Cole versus Capri in a food debate. That could work. Hey, that's entertaining. You know, that's entertaining. But it'll be nice to see some face-off battles. Just like a face-off battle card, trying to see where I'm at. It's something about the preparation. You notice how many individuals, when they battle and they have to write the rhymes, they struggle with their memory and they struggle with projection and delivery, but they don't struggle to talk. Probably. Cole. Probably. In a food debate? Probably. Now, if it was healthy food, Cole don't eat nothing healthy. Got a fire emoji. Okay, cool. Yeah. But this is just to get the best. And maybe ready for this. Maybe if more of these individuals did more face-off battles, even debate battles, comedy battles, they'd be more comfortable to rap, and you get better actual battles. So it's almost like not so much a training ground, but it will develop into them sharpening their skill set in other ways. Can we be honest? The main thing that's stopping a lot of the battle rappers from being what they could be is that they're lacking personality and delivery, and honestly, they're lacking some originality in their presentation of their skill set. When you do promo, when you have to talk and consistently do that and develop that skill, you don't lose that. You don't lose that. Same. And it's not just battle rap either. It's across the board. Most of these musicians or whatever. C-Bot, it will be less crash outs also. Exactly. So that there's another benefit. It'll promote more peace. Not so much peace. It promotes less crash out. Yeah, that's right. It promote more peace. Way more peace. Yeah. I mean, and look, ready for this? More individuals outside of rapping could do the face-off stuff. So now, when they do the face-off, that'll be more of an audience for your rapping. Talk about new faces stuff. Look, this is the type of idea that's being kicked out here. I don't care who do it. Now, if it comes down to we got to do it and just show what it is, I get maybe. But it'll be crazy to see King Cole in a healthy food debate. Spinach versus kale, for example. That'd be funny. Nah. But all jokes aside, man, yeah. But I'm gonna tell you straight up, on this channel, when we keep seeing monotone rapping, underwhelming performances, we're gonna keep talking about, and especially we see it after someone had a fire face-off, we're gonna keep bringing this up. Maybe it should be a face-off battle. Maybe debate works. And also debate, gotta watch debate also, because a lot of people will try to like have their pre-written points, and then here we go, they're gonna sound kind of boring when they're debating. The art of debate, or the skill of debate, is to know your points so well that you don't gotta write them down. Kale versus seaweed work. Nah, broccoli versus cucumber. What's up? Broccoli versus cucumber. Carrots versus beets. What's up? See? A sports debate. Listen, respectfully, there's not anybody in sports debate. Y'all know what it is. For real. Oh, that'll be too easy. Y'all be out of here. I'll take that back. Emmy would be a worthy opponent in a sports debate. Emmy's open. Yeah. Rest of y'all, please. Not in sports. Carrots 2-1. Yep. More vitamins, more nutrients. Beets is a little bit one-dimensional, although beets is good for you too. But carrots does what beets does plus some. Nice. Can't go wrong with either. Yeah, see? But I appreciate everybody. Food for thought. We're going to keep bringing it up. And when someone takes the idea, if they want some help in developing, holler. If they don't want no help, they want to do it on their own, take a stab at it. Knock yourself out. But Wednesday we're going to be back. Message Music Sessions. We'll be back in the house. As usual, we'll try to go 11:30 p.m. or earlier, for at least 2 hours. It will be music, all that good stuff, but it will be more battle rap. We're going to be setting the preview for Pick It Up 3. And we're also going to be showing that Spaces battle. So shout out to TMR Podcast, Gulag 5, first announcement drop. Whispers versus, what's that dough? Man. Clay dough? Something like that. Anyway. It is. See, but that's the fire name for all food debate card, food for thought. Yep. Actually, that food for thought can go many places. See? Yeah. But see y'all Wednesday. Appreciate everybody. Salute to C-Bot, salute to King Cole. If King Cole's going live, be sure to go there. Y'all know what it is. Let's see. Is King Cole going live? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, Content Cartel just dropped. Not Another Love Tape EP. You know what? Yo-Yo and Content Cartel dropped more EPs and songs than people breathe in a day. Salute to that. Independent music. Yo, 2 times. Get some clean versions of that stuff, man. If you want to. It's all you, man. At any rate, protect your peace. Protect your foundation. Protect your family. Stay safe. Stay strong. Stay sane. And as we usually do, right about now, and of course, see y'all Wednesday. For Message Music Sessions. Rock on. Rock out.
Rock, where you at, Rock? Where you at, Rock? Where you at, Rock?
10 rock and roll, bro.
Rock Sports Sunday. Rock Sports Sunday. You are live and locked with Rock Sports Sunday. Break down and talk now with Rock Sports Sunday. Rock Sports Sunday. Rock Sports Sunday. Alive and locked with Rock Sports Sunday. Sworn our team, they are losing today. Thankful their season is over now. Lose your Coach Tom runs down the team. No more championship dream. Those 7 players are tired and worn out. Lose your. They cannot win in the square. Won't get ring anywhere. That's why they lose. Lose your Coach Tom. Runs down the team. No more championship dream. Those 7 players are tired and worn out. Lose your. They cannot win in the square. Won't get a ring anywhere. That's why they lose.